question yet.
We want
Information. Information.
Who are you?
The new number 2.
Who is number 1?
You are number 6.
I am not a number. I am a free man. What up, everybody?
Hi.
Not
Everyone.
another goddamn podcast is back on the air, and we have ourselves a special guest.
The first special guest.
Who is it?
Who, indeed?
Who is it?
Well, introduce yourself.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Oh, it's me?
Yeah,
It's
it's
you.
you.
It's you.
Hi, I'm Brandon. That's my introduction.
Oh, Lord.
And this is still Lee.
Oh, yeah.
And this is
I'm
still
sorry.
KB. And we are
How you
live.
doing?
And
Lee?
hey, there's actually people kind of watching.
Yeah, there is.
Hey, Brian. Brian's
How you
right on the
doing?
spot, dude.
Howdy.
So we're gonna go ahead and share this to all of
Yeah,
our
share
different
it
various
up.
pages. We're
Oh,
gonna,
it's
we're gonna
backwards.
go crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's tripped out, isn't it? Did you never notice that when you watched it? Ah, it's always backwards. We're a
Yeah,
mirror.
it's backwards.
It's really tripped out.
That and it's also fucking we're ahead up here, but I guess
Yeah.
it's just from where your phone
It lags.
sucks.
Yeah, it lags a bit.
No,
What do
it
you got, an
lags.
Apple? That's why.
No, it lags by about. We're about 10 seconds ahead of the people out there at Facebook land.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe 20. It varies. I think it's about a 10 to 20 second delay. So if you guys make a comment or ask a question, we're not ignoring you, and we might be off on a tangent or doing something stupid as we normally do on this show, but we're definitely going to get to you. So go ahead and pipe up. If you got questions, if you got comments, you want to ask our special guest of honor Brandon here a question, or
Well-
just want to ask about what we've been doing in our personal lives, what like what's up in Harrah land,
Yeah.
which is really kind of still not much. We're kind of
You were letting everybody heal.
we're letting everybody heal up.
We're-
It's looking good. Corey's doing well.
That's
I've
great.
heard from him a few times. He seems to be back up to his normal shenanigans.
He got
so-
something for me. I'm kind of happy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was pretty
Awesome.
tickled.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta ask him if he's got something. There was something I saw out and about, and I was like, "Holy fuck, he would love that."
Yeah.
And my mom would have loved it too. That's what brought it to my attention. But I gotta ask him if he's got this particular thing, and if he says no, I'm gonna be like, "Don't buy it, then, fucko." Now I'm gonna get it for him because it's awesome. But anyhow, yeah, we've all been taking it easy, and
Chilling out, maxing out, relaxing, all cool.
yeah,
100%, man. Except instead of that, working our asses off and working our dicks into the ground and destroying ourselves slowly. But man, it's all for rock and roll. So
it's a living.
yeah,
it's a living.
100%, man.
How's your mother? Your father working?
I'm still grinding it out at the laboratory by day. I'm still playing with Disarm the Fallen as well. So me and Greg actually as well. So watch out for our other band. We're gonna be playing Monday night with Light the Torch. It's actually the new band of Howard from Killswitch Engage, and he's my favorite Killswitch singer. And I'm way stoked about that. I love that guy. I think he's got a great voice. I like the new band. Have you heard any Light the Torch? I might have to play some later if we can get away with it.
Sweet.
If they want flag video or some shit, we'll talk
Yeah,
over
right.
it. So
Yeah.
if we talk over it, they might not flag it and play it like real quietly, and I don't know, maybe play like not all of it or something. I
We'll
don't know.
play it on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we'll play it on mute.
Well,
We'll
they
just.
tried to block our our video with the live video with Harrah because they played the Ted Nugent song while we were setting up. But yeah, man, like we're playing Monday night. It's gonna be at the V Club in Huntington. So if any of you are down Huntington Way, then you're in luck. Get with me for tickets. I've got them, or Greg's got them, or any of the other guys in Disarm the Fallen. So that's going to be a great show. Hopefully we'll see you there. It's an early one. Starts, I think it's 7.
That'll be cool.
So yeah, early evening rock and roll on Monday, man. It's good for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Roll for the soul.
Man, I get a lot of notifications and shit from news.
Yeah.
And besides all the awesome Marvel press, we're not going to get into that gonna try not to get into that on this episode. That deserves its own episode, respectfully.
Yeah.
And but go in game. And but anyways, the one news thing, they said metal is on the rise again.
Oh yeah.
They were saying something about it like
When was it not on the rise?
I'll tell you what, man. When
Numbers wise, we took a hit. It
it was almost as bad.
Pretty much your entire lifetime, man.
What
You're
are,
taking a hit.
what are we talking?
Like past couple of years.
The entire genre itself?
Yeah.
Or
For
local?
sales and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, we're talking-
in total.
Well,
in music, local and here, or outside.
And
Okay.
well, they're also talking about people actually like getting into heavy music for the first time, which is encouraging.
That's good.
Because like there's people that like, oh, I was into the hard stuff back in the day.
Nope, no
in
in-game spoilers. I'm gonna try to give at least a little while. But
I haven't seen it yet. So,
so
so it really won't do us much good anyway.
I'm like Roger Rabbit, and someone's going through my house going shave and a haircut. 2 bits. You know, I'm over here like turning red. My eyes are going green and purple vertigos. My lips are curling.
Oh, that's
You know, if you can't see me and just listening, that's what's going on. I should.
I don't think they can see you anyway. You might have
Good.
to
Good
back
God,
us a little bit.
fuck. Yeah, no, I don't want them to see me. They can just listen. Break your shit. Break your shit. Oh.
Aw.
I scratch your nuts for a minute. But anyway, but, you know, blue cheese and wings, or else go fuck your mother. You know. I mean,
Jesus
I love it.
shout out to Diaz.
Yeah, I love Johnny Diaz so much.
Know what I'm saying? But
But now that you mention it, though, I have seen a lot more metalheads.
yeah, man, and it has to be.
I was putting carts up. Sorry to interrupt you, but I was putting carts up at work, and there was a mother and a son. The son could have been like 9, 10 years old, and he's wearing a cutout with a big old Kill 'Em All back patch on.
What?
Fucking yeah! I'm like, hey, dude.
Oh, that's
I
badass.
lifted up my shirt. You know, I wasn't flashing a kid, but I had an Iron Maiden shirt underneath, and I'm like, I get it. Rock on, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
So cute.
Well, it's like the Brian Posen song "More Metal Than You."
Yeah.
He's like, you know, when you meet someone, because it's about like those asshole metalheads that'll go, oh, I'm more metal than you,
Yeah.
or I'm more metal than you.
That's stupid.
Motherfucker, I have Randy Rhoads on my class ring. I was listening to the first Iron Maiden album playing with Master of the Universe toys. You don't impress me, you know, please. But you don't hear me pull shit like that with people.
No, because
You
like
know,
it's not a pissing contest. You like what you like, you know. And
Exactly, and then usually if it's something I don't like, I just kind of smile and nod and go on. Because not everybody can be Iron Maiden.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
don't.
right.
You don't like every heavy band ever.
But
you
not
know?
everybody has
And-
to be Disturbed.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's.
And nobody else can be Guar, except for Scumdogians.
Harrah sounds a bit like Lord.
We,
That's a compliment.
I take that as a compliment.
I'll take
I
that.
resemble that
Oh, yeah.
comment.
Well, I mean, it's
I totally resemble that
I was
comment.
listening to Harrah, you know, not to stroke any dicks here, but
Shit.
stroke away.
and you did.
Well,
you
I
did,
just
you
said
did
I just said when you were scratching my chin that I had your dick in my mouth. So please, we're
You
69 in here.
Well, you gotta buy me a drink first.
What's your poison?
I don't know. I can't ever remember.
Same problem.
Fuck you. Go ahead. Suck my dick after you punch me in the balls.
Isn't that how everything flows? Just easily. Like
Yeah, man. That's why I had to have you be the icebreaker, because, and I'm gonna cut you off here for a second. Which don't even worry about doing shit. If you need to say something, just go. Ooh.
All right.
I ain't.
So I'll just
You ain't disrespecting me. Because the reason why, you can tell the success, strength, positivity, and longevity, and what you're trying to put forth with your first guest. This is the youth. This is the new blood.
Yeah, man.
But this motherfucker looks like he walked out of a Metal Maniacs magazine.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and yeah, he was a baby, but his DNA was, you want to see what Hitler was trying to go for out of the perfect person? This is perfect metal right here. This is genetically engineered perfect metal. Because it's, yeah, man, because it is from his genes. He had no choice.
Yeah.
And I've, you know, just because I'm so close with his goof ass dad. I love you, Vinny, you big sexy bitch.
Is he, you think he's watching?
I have no
He'll see
idea,
it at
but
some point or
he'll
another,
see it at
yeah.
one point. That's the cool thing about these.
You can tell he's watching a lot of times.
Yeah, and they
They'll
drop comments and
comment,
shit.
They'll
So
pop up over, you just watch down
I
here.
know
and
the
see,
comments,
like, the
but
notifications and stuff.
Is there? I think there's a way to like view
a ticker.
We're not gonna get.
Yeah, no. We did that last week,
We got all fucked
and we
up with
became a
it.
two-parter of part 5.
Yeah, because we shut
I
the
think
camera
I think I
down.
saw that.
Yeah.
We did Mambo number 5 and all
We don't
that.
know what
You
we're
guys
doing.
came back on and you're like,
We're
Yeah.
like,
We're
are you okay? Can you all see people?
Yeah, see, it pops
Are
up.
you
See,
there,
so,
dear?
so Addie's watching. Hi, Addie.
Yeah, how
What's
you
up?
doing, Ed? But no, like I said, I watched him grow up. I listened to Vinny talk about his personal choices. And I looked at him and I went, a couple of times, and this is when Brandon was very young. This is even before he even knew my name. And I was, what? He looked at me, swear to fuck.
That's great.
Vinny gets them crazy fucking eyes on him and puts a hand up to you and swear to fuck. And I looked up at him and I closed my hand over his face. And it was one of the first times I kissed him on the cheek. And I leaned over and I kissed Vinny and I went, so seldom does a man get to say he has the perfect son.
Hi, B.
And I said, hey, B. And I said, I said, you have the perfect son. Well, then, through strange fate, he comes to my front door. And I'm like, I said, do you remember me talking to you at the empty glass?
I remember that.
Because, you know, kids can come in accompanied by the parents. You know, it's
Yeah.
more than anything, it's the gambling machines that they're worried about.
When I go in there, the only reason I'm ever in there is because I'm either a roadie or on the stage.
Or doing stage work.
Yeah.
Which, again, folks, before you can even get into a bar, he's on stage setting up for his dad. But he's in there. Where are all these other little fuck-ass kids? They're on their phones trying to get Mary Jane Rottencrotch to show her her fur bits. You know, I mean, you know, they're not, they may say they're metal,
I just caught that.
but they're not metal. You know, they're too busy being fucking kids.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. But Brandon, it's like he's one of those inspirational posters. Metal, you're doing it right. Period. You know, his knowledge already.
I'm the Uncle Sam of it, of metal.
I'll give you that. I will totally give you that. And I mean, and it was just the first couple of hours of me and him just like talking back and forth here. When we had that moment, everybody else in my room was full. You couldn't. It was standing room only in my fucking room,
It was
and nobody
it was
could get a
me-
word in.
It was me, you,
Zach,
Zach, and Caleb.
and wasn't there somebody else?
I don't remember anybody else.
I thought there was somebody else. I'm old, and I'm fucking silly.
No, because I remember I was working at Black Sheep at the time, and they swung by and they're like, "Hey, you should skate down to Lee's." I'm like, "Who the fuck's Lee?"
You had no clue because I
They're
kept
like,
low.
Lee Harrah, you know he loves you. And I'm like, not even met me yet. So yeah, yes.
Oh yeah. And just nobody could get a word in. Nobody could get a word in because he and I were just saying, "Oh, look at this! Oh, look
big
at
kids
that!"
were talking.
Yeah, and we just talked for hours. They had to completely split he and I apart.
Yeah.
Even when we were leaving, I think we still held a 30-minute conversation out on the front.
That'll happen
It-
sometimes.
yeah, but
They're
it
halfway
was,
down the road.
it was fucking
Skateboards popped
awesome.
up looking at me like,
And then, no, don't forget to check this out. You
Yeah.
got it. And, I mean, and you know, he's taught me as much as I've taught him, and that's saying something.
this man right here got me into Iron Maiden.
That's
Iron
the one
Maiden
thing
and
I'll be
War.
happy about. Yes, but
Because at first I'm thinking Iron Maiden. I was young. I had the cult mayhem and burzum.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
true metal. And I first time listening to Iron Maiden on my own, I'm thinking this is gay. But then he played it for me, and it's like, no, it's not what you think. What it actually is just everybody's having war, and it's
right,
beautiful.
yeah, it's songs about war and popular interest and movies and books and just incredible. Like,
They make a lot of deep references.
Steve Harris
Yeah.
and Scott Ian are the great bards. Because Scott Ian does that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Scott Ian writes songs about Among the Living was about the Stand.
Mm-mm.
Misery loves company. I'm your number one fan.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd's had 2 goddamn movies and I Am the Law ain't been in it. I say we ride if they do a third and don't put I Am the Law in it. Because that song was number 1 in England. They sold more Anthrax Judge Dredd t-shirts in England than Metallica sold Master of Puppets shirts in the United States when the albums came out, respectfully.
We never learned that.
We were supposed to learn that. I really wanted to learn
I mean,
that.
I learned it, but like we never
Played it.
played
We should revisit that
I can play it, man. It's not bad.
because that's, come on, that's number 2.
And it's a cool ass riff and it's a cool song.
Out of the 3, we do Green on stage and we do I Am the Law. Dude, I'm gonna be fucking levitating. Are you kidding? Because I ask everybody, who's my second favorite comic book character?
Spider-Man?
Are you a Batman fan?
You like
But no.
you like
Yeah, no. It was always Judge Dredd, dude. I loved him. He was such a fascist piece of shit. He was psychotic. Dude, the only thing that differenced him from his villains and the people he hunted is he had a badge. And they were the ones breaking the law. He was the one enforcing the law. And he'd kill as many people as they would to get to him.
Therefore, he was the law.
Goddamn right. I mean, and there was even a psychological condition made because of his time in comic books. People actually were terrified of him. They would
Good
start
love.
pissing themselves in front of him. They'd vomit in front of him just by the sheer fear of Judge Dredd being in the same, breathing your same air. And it was called dreadophobia.
Wow.
They'd say, well, there's another dread folk. And then they'd just fall over and die from fucking like a seizure or a fucking cardiac arrest or have a major heart attack or something. Just wouldn't be able to handle him
They
standing
internally panic from the sheer sight of him.
there. And yeah, dude, so that's a bad motherfucker. And to be that dude, no, he has no special powers. 98% of him is cybernetic. The only thing that technically isn't is his brain, actually his eyes got ripped out. He's got cybernetic eyes. And his skin. That's it.
Wow.
Like almost everything else has been replaced, like cybernetically. He's almost a fucking cyborg at this point.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, his jaw. His jaw and a part of his skull and his brain and his skin. That's about it. 97%, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a bad motherfucker. And of course, Negan sits at number 3. Ain't no fucking arguing with that. When he did, fuck all you out there. You all probably ain't even watching The Walking Dead anymore. When he cuts Alpha's head off in the comic books. Like, he takes a fucking Rambo 3 hunting knife, grabs her fucking cue ball head. Takes a minute sawing her goddamn noodle off.
Oh, yeah.
And he's holding her head and blood just oozing out of her fucking neck hole. And he's holding the severed head, and he's got that knife, and he's like, wait till fucking Rick sees this creepy, crazy shit.
Have you ever got around to reading Hellsing?
I haven't. They're in there. I've got them still. I've got them. Man,
Because the more you talk about the shit you've seen on your comics, I really...
this motherfucker,
What do you got?
this motherfucker right here, this motherfucker right here owns my soul.
Legacy of the Beast.
Yeah, dude, Legacy of the Beast is killing me. I just got Gangland Eddie, and I got Edward the Great, and I maxed him out in 2 days.
I got something you're gonna like.
How fucking terrible is that?
You got a problem, dude.
That game is great, but they need to quit fucking around and give me bass player Eddie. I want Eddie to do the fucking Steve Harris thing.
I got something y'all are gonna like.
Sexual yum-yums.
Sexually.
God damn it!
Oh,
They need to quit
God,
fucking around and give me the character I desire.
I've got Kid Chameleon on here.
What is this?
You guys don't know Kid Chameleon?
No.
Really?
No.
You don't know Kid Chameleon?
I
It's
don't
fucking...
know Kid Chameleon.
Holy shit. It's like old school.
It's like a fucking 6-bit.
Yeah.
Is that a Sega game?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't
Okay,
see
Oh, see, I was a
Yeah, I
Nintendo
was a
kid
Nintendo
myself.
kid,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was a child of Mario.
You had to pick one or the other. You know?
Hey, but you know why I chose Nintendo? Popeye created it all.
Yeah, dude, they had the fucking the Popeye game that was like the fucking King Kong game.
Yeah. Well, what happened? This
Or Donkey
Japanese
Kong game.
designer was obsessed with American culture. Well, the eyes in manga, the eyes,
Yeah.
where they come from? Betty Boop.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. They
didn't pick up
loved
on
our fucking animation so much.
It makes sense.
And
now.
Betty Boop was such an inspiration. The Fleischer Studios,
That makes a lot more sense.
not
now.
fucking Disney, but the Fleischers made Betty Boop was an international superstar, and through
They-
one
they
of her
paid for- they
episodes,
paid for-
Brian knew what it was right off Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian,
see,
I
I mean,
no,
it's 50-50, man.
Yeah.
You had to pick your system, you know.
Maiden
like-
fans, Priest fans,
Yeah, well,
Elvis fans, Beatles fans. But what happened
Shit.
is,
Altered
Stone
Beast. I've also
Sky.
got Altered
now that's a game I remember. I
Gold-
remember
Golden,
the
Golden Axe.
arcade. I remember that
I've got
too. I
that
remember
one.
the arcade modules.
And Blicky, I've
But-
got Blicky.
But Popeye was a guest star on Betty Boop. And then, of course, he became his own superstar in his own right. This Japanese designer come up with this game where Popeye would go running up these metal girders, dodging barrels and flaming barrels and balls of fire that Bluto would be throwing out at him, while he kept Olive Oil hostage. On the corners of the board,
I guess.
Popeye would run up
Yes.
and collect a spinach pellet. He would start flashing and muscle up. And the song, the Sammy Lerner climactic part of the overture of Popeye, because it starts with hauling anchors and then okay, well then when he takes the fucking spinach,
It's like
yeah,
power.
you know, and when he eats the spinach, they would play that over and over again as he was flashing, and this limited power would happen while he would punch through and would be indestructible to the barrels.
Yeah.
As he made his way up the elevator or the stairs and to defeat and wallop fucking Bluto off the shelf or off the top of the scaffolding. When they presented this to King Features, they said this video game stuff's a flash in the pan. I swear I think they had Disney spies, dude. I think Walt Disney hired people to go inside of King Features and say no to the iconic deals that would have kept Popeye strong and in the public eye.
That's ridiculous.
Dude, he hated Popeye.
Oh.
He despised Popeye. He had a fucking dartboard with Popeye's face painted on it, and one of the things his interns had to do was keep that bucket full of darts.
But they eventually did license one for the Nintendo home console.
Yeah, but it was
in the arcade.
Yeah, it was nothing like what happened afterwards. When King Features says flash and pan, it's done. No, we're not interested. So this guy had to fucking haul ass and come up with a bunch of original shit. So he comes up with Mario himself.
Yeah.
He puts a skirt, a bigger, poofier skirt and longer hair on Princess Peach. Anybody look at Bluto? The XC teeth, the crazy hair, the big eyes,
Yeah.
the thick ears. Paint it black. Put a polo shirt on him. Put pants on him and put shoes on Donkey Kong. Who do you got? Sinbad the Sailor.
Yo, Sinbad
You know,
the Sailor.
I'm the baddest. Everyone round me runs. All I have to say is boom, and they all run.
I'm afraid of nobody under the
That's it. Yeah. I forgot the opening line, but yeah.
Something,
Boo, and enemies run. Who's the baddest person on this? Or who's the baddest and this most unfallible fellow? And then, Sinbad the Sailor. Yeah, dude, yeah. But you look at Bluto and put him beside a Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's
Bam!
Yeah.
And because they said no, a whole goddamn generation and a whole world was created.
Yeah. That's
From
insane.
no. That's what I said, dude. Popeye has literally almost been thrown under the bus, popularity-wise.
I'm just glad they actually did finally make a Popeye game like that.
Weren't they going to make a Popeye animated movie at one point?
And they canned the idea. Adult Swim was supposed to be working on it, and they canned the idea. They shit canned the idea. Wonder fucking why.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you, dude. That's why there was a Mezco Popeye figure that's come out. And it's supposed to be juicy. And if I get myself a job soon and pay off all my shit, it will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine. But anyways, because there isn't that much Popeye shit out there anymore.
You saw
Think about it. Go walk down the street and get you a Popeye figure. You can't even get them at fucking Cracker Barrel anymore. And they used to sell the bendy fucking Popeye figures. You can't get that shit. But
yeah, you can
anyhow,
look around. Well, you might find it.
so as a kid, I knew this, and I stuck with the winning team. I stuck with Nintendo, and it was ColecoVision was what I played first, and because I had Pong, I still have my Pong up there somewhere. I'm old, and fuck y'all for saying anything edgewise. I'm not old. I'm just better than you because I've been around longer and I've seen good shit, and I've seen how far we've come. And for all them people who want to go, oh, he's old. No, I just saw better shit than you.
Yeah.
I saw the cheap copies of what things were supposed to be then, but really aren't now.
This episode is going to be really interesting for our perspective on pop culture by timeline, because you've got 10 years.
But still, even the 80s and the 90s were a good time.
And how much difference is it between us? We got
About 20 years.
About 20, yeah, because I'm 34.
Yeah, and how old are you now?
20. So yeah, we're about 14.
Yeah, and I'm my age.
I had to think about that for a moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's almost
still think it's
equidistant,
2018.
you know.
dude, you know, it fucks with me because everybody's like, you know, pay attention now. 1989 happened 30 years ago.
Yeah. It's very weird. And those, like, 89 would be
Fabulous
like...
Disaster is 30 years old.
Do what?
Fabulous Disaster, Exodus.
So, like, just to
That's
place
my
that
favorite album.
in
I'll talk
the
about that.
timeline, like, 89 would be, like, my first memories. That
Yeah.
would be, like...
79,
That would be,
79.
like, your teenage years.
But yeah, 79 was your 89 for me. Because 79 was when a lot of things began to rear their head. Mego was in full swing. Kiss was big. Van Halen was big.
Yeah.
Fucking Van Halen 2, I think, came out in 1978. So, you know, I was 5 years old when that went down.
Yeah.
And that was some good shit, dude. That was a good time. And yeah, they didn't have the best toys, but they had relevant toys.
Summer 17. That's my year.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
you know what else? You know what else?
what's that?
I found this. It's his signature right
CH.
there. That right there.
Oh,
Right signature.
Nice.
that's good shit, man. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's always those years. Well, 89 was a great year for me because the Cult, Sonic Temple, Metallica's Injustice for All, Van Halen's OU812, Poison's Open Up and Say Ah, which was actually a really good fucking album besides Every Rose Has Its Thorn. God damn it, that song. I think, how many times can you say the word knife in a song?
Oh, dude, yeah, I noticed that. They way overused that fucking word.
You know, and everybody gave Van Halen shit for writing songs about love.
Yeah.
They became Love Halen when fucking Hager came in.
What's wrong with that?
Nah, I like it. But probably the best song about love that they did is one that I think we would kill as a band.
Oh, yeah?
Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do.
I think I know that song.
Oh my God. It was on balance.
Okay.
The video was excellent.
Man, I don't know why. I just never, the hook never caught
His-
the wire on Van Hagar.
The solo on Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do is probably my favorite Eddie Van Halen solo.
I need to listen to. I need to give it a chance, man.
Yeah, you do,
I need
you
to give
do.
all that material a chance. I really do. It's not like I'm not biased against it. It just like it never hooked me.
Oh,
It
you
doesn't-
ain't
it
one
doesn't
too.
spark any kind of interest.
Like the
But
the,
OU
the
812
Roth era got me.
Is the Roth era it's an incredible era.
Yeah.
And like he did on Joe Rogan when he was telling him, he said, you know, there was a lot of songs Van Halen did when I left about love. Well, what was I not talking about? And fucking, and Joe Rogan goes, and he points and goes, what was I not talking about? You weren't talking about love. That's it.
He's hilarious.
When he'd say,
I fucking love him.
he's like, you know, they like the jaw. What was I doing? And he's like, of course, running with the devil. Should I? Should I? Should I? Should I? Might as well. See? I do this all day. You know, just. I mean,
Such a
just.
goofball.
Yeah, dude, but he was right, dude. David Lee Roth was just. He's a force of nature. And like he said, that's why I never got into acting, because people be like, why are you dressed up? Why is David Lee Roth dressed up like the Lone Ranger? He said, I don't need to play a character. I am the character. He's not full of himself. He's right. He's fucking right. You can't.
100% right.
Dave Mustaine is full of himself.
Oh yeah.
But goddamn David Lee Roth is got it. He's got it and can back it up. You know, the motherfucker's incredible. But Sammy was a musician. And he mastered the entertainment part of being a musician. I mean, you know, his years with Montrose, I mean, going out on his own, There's Only One Way to Rock, I Can't Drive 55. Come on, dude. And even when they did the 5150 tour, they opened the show with "There's Only One Way to Rock."
That's cool.
So here's Eddie out. He's just shredding. There's only one way to rock. Yeah, dude. Bible out of net. You want to ease yourself into the Van Hagar, Love, Halen era? Bible out of net.
Okay. I'll check it out.
It's as
Deal.
epic
Deal.
as
sold.
Live After Death.
I'm sold, man. I'm sold.
Because everybody gets a moment.
It's just.
Preach it, brother.
I know.
It's not a thing. It's like I don't hate on it. It never got me. Like I need to give it a chance. That's all it is.
Like I said, I told you my opinion.
I
on
love
Iron,
Sammy Hagar.
I told you my opinion on Iron Maiden before him.
Yeah,
I love
well,
Chicken Foot.
Hell.
Man. Chicken Foot's the shit. I love Chicken Foot.
yeah, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, there is clearly no lack of talent with Mr. Hagar. There's not.
Yeah.
And they sold more records with Hagar than they did with David Lee Roth.
Oh yeah.
You know, but Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do is probably the best song he wrote about love. And the video's incredible. There's like pretty girls raising up their shirts with like bullet wounds, you know, drive-by victim. One girl had like a cut across her throat, I think. I love you too much to ever hurt you, baby. Shit like that, dude. Don't wanna hear what love can do. And Eddie's little jump it. I see the damage done. Oh Lord, I heard the shotgun. Well, is it oh fuck. Oh, my kingdom come on my setting sun. Oh. Yeah, dude. I mean, and there's this part of it where he just and fucking goddamn Al beating the hell out of them drums. And then, oh, tell me what love can do. Oh, god damn. God damn, it'll thrash you.
So what you're saying is, you like it?
Just a little.
Dude, it's the greatest love song ever
I
written.
feel like I just experienced the song being performed.
It's the greatest love song I've ever heard written.
No, like it's well, and plus then he's like, it's like the very beginning. It's okay, I do what I want if I choose. I can take the fall. There's a choice, and my destiny in my hands. Yeah, it's up to me. I can ride. I can shoot a gun in the streets. Score me some heroin. I can jump, be the sacrifice, bear the cross, just like Jesus Christ. And on a top 40 song.
That's some heavy shit.
Don't fucking tell me what love can do.
That's some heavy shit.
You know, bam! I only want to tell you what's right for you. That's why when I first heard it, I was fucked up. I was fucked up at a friend's house. And they're like, the world premiere in the new Van Halen video, man. My friend goes running in, tripping over himself, turning, oh yeah, because we're all big Van Halen fans. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And there, we got it just in time. And I'm all fucked up. And I mean, my eyes are all twisted and turned. And I mean, well, remember, this was 1993?
Yeah.
94? Yeah, somewhere around there. It's been years ago.
I'd have been a little shit ass kid that didn't care about rock and roll.
No, well, but you know, that's how I was
10.
when I heard Dance the Night Away the first time.
Oh, dude, I love that dude. I got obsessed with that tap harmonic thing watching him do that, because like you're holding a chord, but you're actually like playing it not by picking, but you take and you just like slap your finger against the frets like an octave higher than where you're holding the chords. But you have to like
Have
tap
you
exactly
seen
like
her?
the same thing that you're playing
So
over there.
fine and pretty,
It's freaking awesome
moving
how he
with
does
that smile and ease, and I feel her from across the room. Yes, it's love in the third degree. I don't care.
See, but when you
It's
do
just-
Dave's shit though, it works. It sounds like you sound like Dave.
Oh, because he was just such this. He was a showman.
Yeah.
TV show commercials were his biggest influence.
Yep. I could see that.
TV show commercials were like, we're stronger than life. You know, I mean, you could almost hear, you could see him. Hopper teacher, when he's in the fucking tux and got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. I'm hot for teacher. I've got it bad, so bad. I'm hot for teacher.
I think this came up on a previous episode, but that was like one of the primary things that started me playing guitar. That video.
That's what got Eric playing drums.
Really? Same video? No.
When he heard that. Ain't no fucking man besides Unknown Henson that could do that. That's incredible shit. Well, yeah, you could. Yeah, well, you can't get to.
I learned it back in the day. Like,
You gotta do it for me. Have you ever done it for me?
I don't know. The thing is, like at practice, I'm always in the wrong tuning. Because Eddie played in standard a half step down.
Oh
and
my.
Eddie play in drop C. So it'd be really awkward to do it because it all depends on like that low E string for the most part. Like, well,
I'll tell you what, next time all us fucking shitheads get together, just rip that out on Eric. Rip that out on Eric.
I'll just do it a whole step down instead of E flat, and it'll sound close enough. He'll know what it is.
Eric will just, I bet he's gonna look at you and go,
When's Harrah's next show gonna be?
well,
that depends.
yeah, that's a loaded question.
Y'all got started talking about Harrah, and I'm like,
We had two
I'm not
rehearsals.
Seen them in a while.
We had two very promising, positive, and just ass kicking. I'll tell you what, and you may look at me and kind of wince, but if someone offered us a gig the next day, we could have played it and rocked the house.
On the last rehearsal, yeah. I mean, well, if like a 20-minute set, we could. But that's the problem, man.
Good solid 20-30 minute set.
We don't have a solid amount of tunes like
No.
can play
But
like you, me, and Eric could play for like 2 hours.
I bet Corey could too.
Like Corey is getting there
Because he was already telling me what he was doing, and
what was funny is
how many songs does he know?
When he knows a good number.
That's what I was saying, man.
He knows at least 6 or 7, I think.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And they might know more than that.
I would trust Corey enough to go out cold.
Yeah.
Go out cold because
because he does his homework.
And
dude does his homework.
My baby made picks already.
Yeah.
He's going green and purple all the way. Yeah, dude. He's
100%.
It's not like he's out fucking around.
Yeah.
He is literally given arms and legs for the people he loves and the things he loves.
Yep, 100%, man.
And I've never met anybody that would do that.
That's tough as nails. He played a show a week after that shit.
After,
literally 7 days.
He got his leg. Oh, that's a skeleton. It's a Halloween skeleton.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was a bike streamer. It's basically almost as.
It kind of is, but it's a Halloween skeleton. I use it as the full string.
Yeah, it's the lights.
Yeah, it's the pull string. But yeah, no, he ended up having his leg amputated.
Ozzy canceled his tour. You can fill in.
And bless his heart.
That was hilarious. Did you see that?
What's that?
Ozzy cancel this tour. Harrah, you fill in so I can see Megadeth.
You can do it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. We're ready.
If I lost a couple of tons, the fat bastard, and kind of rehearsed a little bit, then yeah, I could probably fill in for Ozzy. I'd have no fucking problems doing it. I want the paycheck.
Yeah,
Fuck, I don't give a
Come on.
shit. I
Yeah.
want the paycheck.
I mean, all you gotta
You
do
should-
is
you should
wander
sing-
around and throw water on people and shit.
Sing
man.
all Harrah
Jump-
songs,
jump
but as
and do
Ozzy
this.
would do.
We did used to do an Ozzy tribute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they helped me do Ozzy tribute
Did you ever
stuff.
see any of the YouTube videos of that bullshit?
The Ozzy tribute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to do it.
Yeah, yeah, I'd send
Like we
to
used
you.
to play.
I've seen an interview of him doing an Ozzy impression.
That was why we did it.
Yeah,
It
and
came from that. He
okay.
came up with this crazy idea, like, let's throw in an Ozzy tribute act at the end of our set, like for 4 songs or something, and then maybe if it takes off, we'll do it. Well, people sort of liked it, but like we didn't really go all in on the Ozzy thing. Like we
Yeah.
kind of got the Ozzy look and did
Played
the
around
voice,
with it.
but like I didn't change and none of, like,
And I didn't really, because it was just like they would say Lee's sick, he's got to go,
yeah.
and then I'd come up as Ozzy and do something. You
Yeah.
know, it's just
It was
to
a
mix
goof,
things
you
up.
know.
Yeah.
But we would do
But this
what
town,
we
man,
did?
you
Crazy Train. We did
we did Children of the
we did
Children
Children
of the Grave. We did Paranoid, and we did Shot in the Dark.
Yes, Shot in the Dark was great.
Shot in the dark.
That's my
I'll
favorite.
bring that one back in a heartbeat.
Well, let's do it. I could do that. Yeah, I love Shot in the Dark because I mean, a lot of people love to hear Ozzy songs.
Yeah.
It's overplayed, but I fucking love it.
But I would go I would take the road less traveled, and like it was great when we did Bark at the Moon. You
Yeah,
know,
we
when
did.
people at Walmart did Bark at the Moon.
Yeah.
I love doing it because that's my favorite Ozzy album.
Yeah.
Yeah, Werewolf Ozzy's my shit. I mean, because my favorite Ozzy song of all time is So Tired. Because here's this werewolf on the cover scaring the hell out of you, and he's writing a song about an unfaithful woman. The fuck is that all about?
I can't just.
And I thought that was the greatest thing ever. Waiting for Darkness was great on that album. That's probably my second favorite Ozzy song.
Yeah.
Waiting
I
for
can't
darkness.
I can't decide between
Why doesn't anybody?
Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Bones.
Those albums are fucking timeless.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Well-
timeless and they're powerful and they're excellent. It's like Ozzy's Number of the Beast. Because that session, those 2 albums were recorded around the same time. They just took all kinds of money and just did those 2 albums, but they picked and chose for Blizzard, toured, put out Madman, Randy died, and that's why if you notice Ozzy's style changed so much.
Yeah.
Even though Bob Daisley was still writing
Yeah,
shit.
it got almost like a. Not saying it's in a bad way. It got real uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And he got kind of like a glam metal kind of thing going for a little while.
Yeah, well, and I would say that's a great Scream is a great fucking album.
I was
It threw
weird
me off
about
guard.
that. Yeah,
It threw
took
me off guard.
It took me off guard
I
as
loved
well.
Soul Sucker, Life Won't Wait. I really enjoyed that album. It, like he said, it didn't sound like a Black Label Society album.
Yeah, and I guess, as much as I like Black Rain, it kind of did sound like a Black Label album.
Yeah. I mean, because that was the problem with Zach going off and doing his own thing. It would begin to sound like his own thing. And don't forget where you're coming from, boy. You're coming from the Prince of Darkness's place.
It's not the Prince of Darkness. It's the Prince of fucking Darkness.
I love it.
But you know, but
you gotta get it right.
oh Lord, here it is. But but for years, that was a thing too when he was doing the whole glam thing, because he didn't give a fuck. He's like he said, he wanted the dough, he wanted the money, because they were homeless. They lived out of that bus.
Yeah.
Because Don made Sharon pay so much for his contract. and for his rights, for the rights of the music and everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was fucking pissed at her.
Yeah, and Don told her. He said, "You're going to waste your life with this bum."
Yeah, yeah, he didn't.
He didn't like
approve.
Ozzy at Ozzy. He didn't like Ozzy at all.
Not like him. He did not approve.
And
I can understand on many levels. I mean, the
the
guy was.
fucker
guy's a
did
fucking
mounds of
psychopath.
cocaine like this.
Yeah.
You know, well, like I've said, with the
Beverly Hills.
the blatant disregard to animals that he has,
Yeah.
I think Ozzy, if he didn't turn out to be Ozzy Osbourne, I think he could have been a serial killer.
He probably would have, dude.
He said that.
He was a pyromaniac. He was a
The chicken
bedwetter.
coop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Morning,
his
Ozzy,
dad beat
winding
the
down
shit out
from
of
the
him.
tour,
He
I
tried to
see.
kill himself, and his dad beat the shit out of him for trying to kill
Mhm.
himself. Like the dude had a really fucked up childhood. He
Came to this world penniless.
He would like, I mean, and even like deep into
That's it.
adulthood, he would
That's
like
it.
casually just kill animals for no apparent reason, just for the amusement of it. Like, that's a fucking serial killer.
Yeah,
Like,
everything
right
you have
straight up.
you've just brought up, besides Ted Bundy, you've hit right on the head.
Yeah, man. It's
You
like
know, and the
straight
other
down
thing,
the
the
line.
other way he could have went was being a comedian, because the motherfucker
He's
is
hilarious.
hilarious.
He's very fucking funny.
You know, I love Ozzy.
And a lot of people don't get his humor, or they don't understand his accent or something.
Is it funny that I understand everything he
I
says?
understand every fucking thing. 'Cause I'm like the Ozzy, the
I
English
understand everything
translator.
to an extent.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Well, on Trailer Park Boys, when Mr. Leahy would be talking and be all drunk, and I would say, "You got it there, bud?" Said, "I want to take you around there, okay, bud?" What he said, are you good to drive this thing? Yes, good. Now I want you to get in here, fill this thing up, and do the lawn here, okay, bud? And he's like, "Mr. Leahy, I don't understand." I say, "Just really." Good work, folks. Mr. Leahy, are you okay? Dick all hanging out. Shout out to Leahy. But yeah, I mean, I can understand fluent drunk. I can understand Northern English. I can understand all that, because Ozzy is technically a redneck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Because if you listen to Bruce Dickinson's accent, it's very sharp, print, and on point. You can tell he was born and raised in London.
You're posh.
You know,
The life of the wife
you-
is ended by the knife.
you got Steve, who's very very soft spoken, as it were, and he's got a little bit of a drawl, and he says "whiff" instead of "whiff."
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything with my fingers. I don't understand. I didn't know what to do. You know,
He's got it all down, dude.
and then you get Paul McCartney from up in fucking Liverpool. He's got a very strong jaw. You know, my father would take us all to his workers' supervisor's place, and his
Dude,
son
it's dead on.
would have the album. He would have an album. And then you got fucking Ozzy. He's from. Oh, you romantic fool! He's from up there as well, you know. It's been a long time since I've done them. Since I think, but you know, you have to understand that where we came from, there wasn't none of that. You know, I had to order my records from a washing dryer place that sold washing machines. I had to go through the order form and buy me these records, and I had to wait to get them. You know, he was but you
Get a lot of sandpaper to his
dude,
voice,
and then you got fucking Ozzy, who was all about the Beatles. You know, he was all about
I fucking love the Beatles.
the fucking Beatles was what did it for me. And
what was it?
I was
the
so-
song he was making fun of. It's like something in Birmingham. Don't forget to bring
don't prefer-
glass in your face or something.
Yeah. You know, but him and Paul, you could tell. And I'll tell you who else, another North Englishman. The bloody Rod Smallwood. Maiden's manager.
Yeah.
You know, and Bruce could do his voice perfect. He did, and don't bloody whinge about how long the tour is. Ooh, bloody red Smallwood. I like it here. Sun shines all night.
Oh, that's fucking great.
When I was a lad, I used to lift up 5 nubbies on the end of the shovel. I probably would take martial arts, but otherwise I'm immensely strong. Pride of the Eagles, my man. Pride of the Eagles, which makes the world rotate. And everybody knows the center of the universe is Huddersfield. So I don't live there anymore. I live in Los Angeles. Great! You know, you get... That's what it is, man. People just don't get good British accents.
No, man, that's not what I'm good at. I'm not good at.
Everybody can do, you know, the traditional British accent, like you're some kind of rotten fucking YouTuber.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it! You are
Hello,
fucking
everybody.
eating my
It's
ass.
Soot House again. I like Soot House.
I'm miserable at those. I'm miserable at New England accents as well.
I couldn't do those accents
New York,
anyways.
New Jersey.
Now New York, I can do a New York accent all day
I'm bad
long.
at the Massachusetts accent. I'm bad at like.
The fuck are you looking at, eh?
You know what's really
Can't do a Maine
underappreciated?
accent, none of them.
The Norwegian accents.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of those around here anymore.
Because, man, all them motherfuckers
every-
went back.
Every
Yeah.
time I
I had a
do-
doctor that talked
do-
like that once.
Every time I do the
Yeah.
Norwegian accent, I try to think of Doctron from like
Yes.
from Doctron.
Yeah.
Notice how it's Doctron and not
Doctron, yeah.
Doctron.
Yeah. It's
very-
a hard T.
Very cool.
See, dude, I listen, man, I loved all my classic shit.
How many impressions are we going to pull off tonight? Let's find out.
Stick around, you never know. Because we start, I did Roger Rabbit first. Yeah, it was Roger.
Well, we're backtracing now.
Yeah, but we shouldn't do that. We should keep going forward.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if anybody was aware out there, but Jonas Ackerlund, the guy that did a lot of really, really important, controversial, and deep videos. Like, probably my favorite video he did is Lady Gaga's Telephone. I mean, that fucking video,
Is that the one you showed me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
where her and Beyonce are dancing.
Lee
And then they
evangelized
kill
that video.
everybody.
He made me watch it too.
Yeah, those two are
Every-
dancing with a full dancing troupe. Stop calling, I don't want you. Where Lady Gaga had poisoned the entire goddamn drive-in diner that they were eating at. The bitch even killed the dog. The bitch even killed the dog.
That's some Quentin Tarantino shit.
They came driving up in the pussy wagon.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and Ackerlund made all this available and possible.
What was it? My name's Chuck. No, my name's Buck, and I
Look to fuck, yeah. Your name is Buck, right? Right.
Wiggle,
But
move your
it goes as saying, Jonas Ackerlund did this really interesting biopic, and here's why I think Rock is on the metal. Rock is on the move.
Rock is on the metal, guys.
Who won an Academy Award for Best Actor? I paid my dues.
Oh, really?
I think that motherfucker won the Academy Award for Best Actor.
Really?
And
That's
Queen
awesome.
sure as hell ain't top 40.
I mean, he did rock it though.
Okay? I've noticed motherfuckers wearing Motley Crue shirts a whole lot more lately.
Because the Dirt movie, yeah.
Okay?
I posted a picture of a Death Crush shirt and a Dark Throne back patch on this page, on the shirt collecting page you put me on, and some smug motherfucker commented, "Well, looks like somebody just watched Lords of Chaos," which is like saying, you know, I'm only doing this stuff because I saw the movie, and it's irritating now. Nothing is pure anymore.
Yeah.
Those-
Maybe
Those
that's
people
what
are jerks.
Is that what you were getting at? Like you seen
I
a lot
walked
more
out-
Motley Crue shirts around.
I left a Rick and Morty group because around the time I got my Pickle Rick hoodie and the Szechuan sauce and my portal gun, it all just kind of happened on my birthday. So last year I had a Rick Sanchez birthday.
Yeah.
And it was really fucking awesome. And I took a picture of it and put it on my page. And then I put it on Rick and Morty's page, just a certain page, and they're like, oh, another noob.
A noob?
And I thought,
A noob?
People are dicks, man.
This isn't Call of Duty.
and I just went, I didn't say anything. I didn't dramatize it. I just deleted picture, left group, and was like, I'm going through a rough time myself, buddy. You're probably commenting to me in your third floor of your goddamn parents' mansion. And there's rare times in my life where I had a device where I could, like, if the fucking Infinity Gauntlet actually worked.
Yeah.
And I could just grab close it, use the Space Stone, and show up in Gold's house. And walk up to Gold and be like, whack, 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 whack. And then look at him and go, you ain't even good enough to eat, bitch. Put the glove back on, close my fist, come back home, and wash that shit off of me, and attempt to jerk off and then go to sleep.
See, he's a man with a plan. He's got it all
Yeah,
figured out.
but that's the point, man. These people ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, I don't
And if you do that, and if you say shit like that, fuck you.
Yeah, and if you're
Fuck you. You are a cunt.
also, if you're one of those salty haters that just like can't let people like, even if it's lame, let people fucking like things.
I don't talk shit about y'all when you like Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't
maybe a
talk
little.
shit about people who like the Cranberries. I don't talk shit about people who like Sublime.
So,
I don't talk about that shit. I don't talk about people who like Diane Keaton. You go on with your bad self.
yeah.
Stare at
people
your
like what
asshole
they
in the
like.
mirror. It's your world. I'm just in it.
And I understand.
I just don't personally like him.
And I understand how we're supposed to turn the other cheek and all that shit, but it still doesn't destroy the fact that it's still annoying as hell.
I make sure to turn the other cheek, so my asshole's right in their face when I fart.
I thought your mouth.
I fart in your mouth. Just, hey, come down here, man. I'm kind of hurting. Would you fix my leg right here? But you gotta turn your head right. Woo! Fuck your shit, hooker!
Tell me what I had for lunch.
Be pretty bad if he said, you like catching toes?
It's like, you're good. Based on that, I'm gonna be your friend.
Yeah!
That's how friendships are.
Yeah, that, tasting someone else's bowel air.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, man, why not?
It's a
Fuck
bonding
it.
experience
you got
for sure.
none of us became friends like that.
This magic moment, so different and so new,
Oh my god.
would last forever until I met you. And then it happened. It took me by surprise. It'll last forever, forever till the end of time.
Please no. Please no. Please
So
no.
he's managed to kill about 10 minutes on poop jokes.
Why not?
But I'll bet you there are motherfuckers right now horse laughing. And they're probably going, that's for you, Lee. Shitheads. I love y'all. I love you more than I love my Kroger bags I don't throw away.
You'll use them someday.
Yeah, man. That's why you keep the Kroger bags.
The corner of my bedroom is nothing but Kroger bags.
Dude, that's a man with a plan right there.
Yeah.
We're just collecting them so we can put them back.
Or
in
you can put the bag in the bag, inside the bag, inside the bag.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
do.
compact.
Yeah,
story.
bag of bags.
Bag and bag.
If Willie was watching, he'd be screaming, bag of bags, motherfucker!
of bags.
Yeah, he would be all about the bag of bags, because there were always bags of bags. And I used to, until I had this big bag exodus. I spent hours and hours until they were like 20 little, or 20 big ball bags.
Nose emojis.
No, that's a flipping. That's the finger.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a finger.
That's probably from where I flipped the screen off when we were saying "fuck you" to the.
Yeah, well,
to the
they were
folks.
probably saying "fuck you" to those people too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because there isn't a lot of people that talk shit on here. It's beautiful. There's
Yeah,
beautiful
what can you
people
expect out of
that
animals?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell the difference between hostile fire and friendly fire.
oh yeah.
Uh,
If there was somebody hostile,
We're not
I
laughing.
think the rest of everybody else on here would be like, "Get the fuck off here, you shitball!" Because we haven't met the negative people yet.
no, there's not so much
The-
negativity.
No, there
Everybody's
isn't, man.
really cool.
There's a lot of uplifting things, man. We talk a lot of, we may talk a lot of shit,
A lot
but
of shit.
we try to be as uplifting as we can.
With our shit talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we do call people out, maybe you needed to be
Beautiful
called
piece of
out.
shit.
You know, maybe you needed to be put on blast. Maybe you needed your shit checked. I mean, I'm just saying, because we all got to share this fucking world that we're in.
Sadly,
And-
it appears to me you'll have to show much dignity for your own good, boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look, you know, you got to show, we got to all try to somehow find a way to stop shooting each other.
Oh, Jesus. Did you see that shit happen over?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it yesterday? Or
Yes.
the day before? Man, I lose track. I
What
lose
happened?
track. Well, there's somebody shot up UNC Charlotte, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, like killed like 3 or 4 people, I guess.
Someone walking in with a goddamn hand cannon again and dot, 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 dot.
Yeah. It's,
People, get outside.
Yeah.
seriously.
Get up from your goddamn
Quit
computers.
playing Call of Duty. Get the fuck outside, dude. Like,
I'm
seriously.
guilty. I've
Like,
been feeding my eyes into the Iron Maiden cybernetic world.
I mean, I really don't know what people's motives are for all that shit. Who really knows? It's always something different. But like, seriously, like,
I
you're
think
out
it's
there and you're planning to shoot a bunch of fucking people. Like how about not? Like,
it's a
seriously, like,
lack
it's
of
getting old.
reality.
Like,
If
it's
you've
been
got the
done.
money to waste
It's
on
done to death.
ammunition and
It's
gear,
done to death.
what are you doing living an unhappy life like that in the first place?
Right.
Yeah, take that money,
If I had money,
go to Athens,
Yeah.
go to Rome.
buy yourself.
You think I'd be buying guns, you dumb shit? No, I'd be buying toys. I'd be buying comic books.
I'd be buying guns.
I'll tell you what, I do want a Thompson. I would love to
Besides the
have
point.
a fucking Thompson, a classic Thompson.
Drum mag.
Yeah,
Like the
but
Al Capone shit.
but I'd put it up on my wall.
Yeah.
I'd set that fucker up on my wall with Conan's sword, with Andrew Leal, you know, because I would like to have certain iconic swords in my house, but I would like to have weapons. If the shit get real, all I have to do is chunk, clack, shack.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Right.
And a Happy
You know.
New Year.
Yes.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
I'm
you
gonna
know?
count to 3 for you to get your slimy, filthy. Help me out.
Oh God, dude!
Oh,
you
no.
put me on the spot.
Off
'cause I
my
would have done it.
yard.
Oh God! And then the sound of the shots and the laughter. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
That's pretty great.
Oh God, yeah. Gangster movies, man. That's where the shit was.
She fell for it twice.
But yeah, I would love to have certain weapons like that. I'd like to have a 45, a 1911 Colt, Marv. You know, I'd name it Gladys. You know, and put that shit up on my shelf or like up on a wall. But if something real would happen, I could either break a glass, pop the lid, pull that fucker out. It's party time.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, man, there's a reason why we won World War II. Anybody try to get up and run away from a fucking Thompson blast? Jesus fuck.
Even if you manage to run, you're scared shitless.
They were loud, and when they hit, they blew shit apart. You know.
You're hiding behind
I mean,
what's
they
left
were
of your bunker. What the fuck was
yeah,
that?
you know, yeah. That's why a lot of men carry
waters,
Thompsons, because they were street cleaners. And I'd like to have something like that. That would I put that in and then put Guar's fucking This Toilet Earth on and go walking through a fucking daycare pumping hot shot into babies and women? No, you dumb sick bastards. What in the fuck is wrong with people anymore?
You see,
And people think I'm fucked up.
See, you think these people would
Suck
be
my hairy, dirty ass.
you think bands like Gwar and fucking Cannibal Corpse would be playing this kind of evil, grotesque music so it lets people who have these kinds of thoughts for real listen to this shit and be like, okay, I'm not alone. It's okay to think these things as long as I don't act upon them.
Yeah, I told John
Yeah.
Dracoolidge that they prevented me from being a killer.
Yeah.
Because I said, man, I had a huge God hole in my heart, in my chest, where my heart should have been.
Yeah.
I was like, in the day that I heard the first words to the Salaminizer, I was like, I evened out. And I told him, I said, listening and vicariously living through Brocky's lyrics really was an eye opener, and it opened me up and closed off that urge to do those bad things. Plus, when he did them on stage to people I hated,
Yeah.
I was like, yes, he's pulling Michael Jackson's skin off. He's raping fucking Ronald Reagan. Oh my God, Ronald Reagan come back as a cybernetic robot.
He's blood eagling Trump.
And oh my God, Jesus and Hitler are merged at the ass? Okay.
It makes
Okay,
sense now.
okay. And I mean, it was life imitating art, imitating life.
Yeah.
And I got it. I got it more than other people did. And other people around me would kind of be like, dude, there's something wrong with you. I'm like, no, this is art. And
Art for art's sake.
right. And I had such hateful fucking feelings when I was younger.
That's why I love Seth Putnam so much.
Seth was a very, 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 very disturbed man.
Oh yeah. You ever see his interviews?
Oh, dude, I didn't have to.
He was in a coma. I think it was like a drug coma for, I don't know, it was about a month or something. And he wakes, I could be wrong. He wakes up and he goes on to write a song for Anal Cunt that was like being in a coma is just as gay as I thought it would be. This is how much this man didn't give a
Jesus.
shit.
The internet is gay. Money is stupid.
Yeah.
People are gay. You're a dumb cunt. These are just some of the song lyrics that make up Anal Cunt. I mean,
and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, because
people are so quick to shit on it too. It's like this
It's
is literally
art.
just noise, and it's like
it's art.
that's exactly what people said to El Salvador Dali.
And what's his name?
Your clocks are melting. Clocks don't melt.
God damn it. Who was it?
Give me a clue. Give me a clue.
The head butter.
Oh, Wesley. God, I love Wesley Willis so much.
He was another.
Wesley Willis is a hero of mine, man. I love that.
Yeah,
man so much.
There's so many people in
I
this
get a
head
lot
of
of
mine
shit
now.
for liking him, and I get a
I
lot
love
of shit
him.
for I subject people to him all the time because I think watching people's reactions to him is very funny because people have very varied reactions to him. Most people
It's
hate
polar
him.
opposite.
Most people hate him. Like about 80% of people that you show Wesley Willis.
This is what you get the
hate
most
him.
shit for liking.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
If you show, that
But I don't
one
think
or
we're
two
gonna, I
out
don't
of
think we're gonna
10
talk about him.
that get him,
You can.
they light up, man. And it's normally people that have relationships with people who have mental illnesses or people who have developmental disabilities or something. Because Wesley, I mean, he didn't have a developmental
Roll
disability.
me down.
He had schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, and the dude, he got a lot of shit. Well, not really him, but people that put out his music got a lot of shit for exploiting him, you know?
Well, but, you know, but because they exploited him, the world knows who he is.
Dude, he's doing what he was doing what he wanted to do. Should he have been, like, in some fucking halfway house or some fucking care facility or some bullshit? Like, no, fuck that. The guy wanted to play rock and roll.
And he was free.
He was free, man. Like, he went around the country, he sang his songs. Yeah, like, he got in a few fucking scrapes, and he probably died young. But, like, man, like, a lot of
That's
people...
how you need to go out this
like,
life.
dude, he lived the way he wanted to fucking live. And nobody was exploiting him. Like, dude, that guy was making his own money. He wasn't at home drawing a fucking pension like he could have been. Like, he could have gotten disability.
Yeah.
He was fucked up in the head. Like, he had problems. But he, like, went out and he made music. And a lot of the way that, like, the reason he made the fucked up music that he made was to deal with his fucking problems. Like, all those songs, like, you know, like, Suck a Cheetah's Dick and shit like that. Like, that, like, it's funny, but, like, he had, like, voices in his fucking head that were demons.
That we're saying this
And
shit.
like the demons were like he would curse at the demons and say, you know, suck a dog's dick, lick a moose's ass, suck a camel's cunt, you know, stuff like that, and they would like go away. And that was how he got the demons away. He would just yell that nasty stuff, and the demons would be disgusted and run away. And that was what he did. And like his whole premise was that, or you know, like all those songs that like just said people's name over and over again. It was people that he went and saw in concert, and he loved them, and he wanted to talk about how awesome their shows were. And he would like, dude, there was a documentary about him. I don't know if you saw this or not.
No, I need to
They're
check
fucking
this out.
following Wesley around, and he goes into this place called Taco John's. I guess there's a chain restaurant of taco places in like the Southwest. And he's
Taco
like,
John's, I ain't heard of
or
that.
maybe it
Burger
wasn't.
Bell.
Maybe it's in the Midwest or something. I think.
Yeah, because Del Taco's in the
'cause-
Southwest, and I love Del
Because
Taco.
Wesley is from Chicago, so it's probably somewhere in the Midwest. I'm not sure.
You're probably, yeah.
But
that
he
is-
went in and he was like, he was like, I want to write a song about Taco John's. How many locations y'all got? How many franchises? Y'all do it in national? What's y'all's slogan? Like, he's just in there like taking notes and shit, dude. And he's like, he's got this whole thing. He's like, who do I need to talk to get permission to use your name in a song? I want to write a song about Taco John's. It's gonna be a rock and roll song. I'm a rock star. I'm gonna make an album. It's gonna be about Taco John's. I really like to eat Taco John's. Like he's obsessive, but he's focused, dude. And like that's how.
And
he
he's
gets fucking
excited.
business. He's excited about life. He was a dude that like I want to be like him, even though he had problems, even though he didn't fit into society. Like his fans like are rabid, dude. If you meet people that are into Wesley, they're like cult, and like you know, like he would headbutt people. I love that shit. Like. He had a fucking bruise on his head constantly.
Yeah, he always had this big knot on his fucking head.
Have you ever heard any of this shit?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude. So he was like, I'm gonna regale you with
And
Wesley
this
Willisism.
is what makes this podcast awesome.
So Wesley Willis was a guy who lived in Chicago, and as a young man, like I mean, he had schizophrenia, and he bounced around a lot. He didn't really have like a permanent home, and he would ride the buses a lot. And he would take like big sheets of paper and markers, and he would just ride around Chicago and just memorize Chicago and like sit on the street corners and just draw shit with markers. And like it was very stylized, but it was also very accurate. It was really, and it was beautiful. He would just like, I mean, it'd be like all primary colors, like Sharpies, you know, like like you know, it's black and yellow and red and blue and shit like that.
Like a basic box of crayons.
Very
Yeah.
line oriented, like all straight lines. I think he used rulers and stuff, and it was beautiful, man. And he just had a style about him. And people kind of caught people's eyes, like passerby and stuff like that. And there was these dudes that hung out near where he would hang out and draw, and they were in a punk rock band. and they befriended him. You know, they buy paintings or drawings from him, those like marker drawings, and he would sell his drawings for like $20 a piece on the street corner, and they were really good. You know, he sold a lot of them, and then he started singing with this punk rock band, and he was such a character that they called the punk rock band the Wesley Willis Fiasco. And so the Wesley Willis Fiasco had like all these, you know, these crazy songs about like, I mean, it was just shit that Wesley made up or shit he was talking about. Like he was talking about this guy that tried to stab him on the bus one time, or did stab him. Like this dude stabbed him with a box cutter, and like he had a scar like across his face because this dude cut him with a box cutter, like when he was like a teenager or 20 years old or something like that.
Holy shit!
And he wrote a song called "He's Doing Time in Jail" about that. And like the verse of the song, and the band's just like jamming, like doing this little kind of like really kind of sparse rhythmic thing, and he's just there talking about like, he's like, one time I was on the South Side bus, I felt like my brain was on fire, I started yelling, and I saw a man, he thought I was yelling at him, and he whipped out a box cutter on me and proceeded to slash me across my face. He's doing time in jail. He's doing time in jail. You know, and the chorus is just, he's doing time in jail over and over again.
Makes me think of Institution.
Like all of his songs, it's just one phrase.
Simple.
It's all one phrase repeated over and over again for the chorus, and it's almost always got that kind of a melody. And then the verses is just spoken, and then like the verses generally they're not structured and they don't make a whole lot of sense. And then, so the punk band they did all that kind of stuff, and I guess that he kind of had like a falling out with them. He suspected that they were like fucking him out of money and stuff like that. So he like stopped fucking with them, and he just like bought a keyboard, and he would just like play like program beats on his keyboard, and he would literally like do arpeggiator patterns and like hold down one note at a time. Yeah. And they're like the cheesiest like Casio keyboarded sounding like backing track things, and he would sit there and he would just say,
I think your mom's nice.
Yeah.
I think your mom's got a juicy ass. I think your mom's got perky titties. I think your mom's got a sweet pussy. I think your mom's got a sweet pussy.
Yeah.
I bet your mom's got a sweet pussy. I bet your mom's... It's something like that.
Yeah.
Just real weird shit.
He did this one,
just
dude.
real out there in your face.
I had to post it because my car got fucked up by someone, like, and they ran away, and then like Corey, his car got damaged by like kids playing or something. And so there's a fucking Wesley song that's like,
Jello,
it's
yes.
like, look what you guys have done. You have gone and damaged this man's car. He is going to be so mad when he sees this damage. What, you're going to have to pay for this, jerk. You fucked that man's car up. You fucked that man's car up.
We're going to have to introduce you to Wesley, man.
After we shut down, 100%.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Because he's great.
Yeah, totally. Everybody who hasn't heard him.
Yeah, if you've not heard
Wesley, it's an experience.
It's an acquired taste.
But it's art.
8 out of 10 people don't like him.
They threw me out of the church.
They threw me out of church. Love, they threw me out of church. I mean, I got a lot of favorites. Cut the Mullet. Cut the Mullet's my favorite.
And I was like, God damn it, it's too close
Take
to
your ass
rocking
to
the
the
mullet.
barber shop. Tell the barber that you're sick of looking like an asshole.
You're sick of looking like an asshole.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, he was very much like the unclever older brother to Everlast.
I could see it. Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe the younger brother.
Yeah. Wesley Wesley has a charm to me, man. Like, I really wish I
because he's
could've
very
met him.
urban.
And, you know, like, I think Wesley actually died before I got very much into him. Like, I discovered him kind of by accident. I'll tell you how I discovered Wesley.
Amanda Miller dropped him on me.
Here's how I discovered
I'll give
Wesley
you that,
was.
Amanda.
This, one thing I gotta thank Napster or Kazaa or whatever it was that we were stealing music with back in the day when we were shit-ass teens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like, when me and my friends, like, actually, if Josh Ringer watches this, he'll remember this shit. And, yeah, a lot of the people that I hung out with back in the day, we would go into the school's computer lab, and we downloaded fucking Napster or Kazaa or some shit like that, and we would sit there during activity period and just fucking cruise for file sharing music and just download anything that looked interesting. And one day, I think it was me and Ringer. If he sees this, he'll confirm it. I don't know if he's watching. He'll probably see it later. But like, we found this fucking file that was titled Nirvana cover of Metallica's Enter Sandman. I'm like, Nirvana never covered fucking Metallica. That's ridiculous. And so we downloaded it just to see what the fuck it was.
Right.
And so like it starts off, and it's like this like weird little computer beat. It's lick a moose's ass, suck a camel's cock, suck a moose's asshole, lick a honey badger's booty hole, suck my dog's dick, suck my dog's dick, suck my dog's dick, suck my dog's dick. So like if you're 17, that's the funniest fucking thing in the world. And like we're like, oh, we just got punked. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. And we were like the class of 02, so this was probably 01, 02 when this.
Oh, this was this before Rick rolling?
Yeah, dude, this was pre Rick rolling days. So like somebody posted it like somebody posted it as a prank, I guess. But like I thought it was fucking hilarious. And then later on, I saw another file up there titled "Suck My Dog's Dick" by Wesley Willis, and I was like, oh, so that's who does it. And I didn't really look into it any further, right? So like fast forward a while later, like I was bored, you know, on YouTube one day. I was probably in my 20s, I don't know, and I just Google Wesley Willis just to laugh, because you know I'd not heard that song in a long time.
My young man was mauled to death.
Right? And so I found his shit, and I just went down a fucking rabbit hole, and I started reading about him, and I didn't know there was anything wrong with him. I didn't know his history. I didn't know like anything about him. I just knew that song, and it cracked me up that one time. But I started reading about him, and I think this would have been maybe like, I don't know, like 06, 08, somewhere like that I really got into him. I found out that he died in 03, heart attack. Well, he had weight problems, and he got really, really big for a little while. Actually, he wrote a song called "I'm Sorry I Got Fat." Like, I
need to find that!
it's just, I'm sorry I got fat, I'm sorry I got fat, I'm sorry I got fat, I will try to slim down. That's all it says over and over.
That's lyrical genius.
It's fucking great, dude.
That's perfect.
I love it. Wesley just makes my heart happy. You see, I've smiled more this episode talking about Wesley than I've probably smiled any other episode. He just makes me happy. And he's not really heavy metal. I mean, he had the punk rock band. They were pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Jesus the Answer. I made you listen to Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I've heard a good bit of his stuff, but I ain't heard I'm Sorry I Got Fat.
I really actually kind of thought about having us cover Jesus is the Answer.
Let's do it. So I ain't scared.
If anybody out there is a Wesley fan, let us know.
Amanda
and
Miller
we'll totally do it.
And Brian Stewart both are.
We'll totally bust it out for you guys. Oh, see, yeah.
He had just been in Morgantown before he died.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, he did a lot of touring. You know, like he was a road.
She was living in Fairmont. God damn.
He played a hell of a lot of shows, man. Like they did several documentaries about him. This is an interesting guy. You can find a lot of shit on YouTube about him.
I need to go down that rabbit hole again.
He was a very interesting dude. And they just did a movie about him, I think. Like a full-length movie.
Well, it's kind of like Blaze Foley.
Really?
That dude I let you see, the Duct Tape Messiah?
Yeah, okay.
He was this country singer. And he was this big, scary-looking, tall, lurchy motherfucker. And he would always go to these big these big country singers, and try to pawn off this guitar to them.
And they were like, most of them were like scared of him.
Yeah. And then he would sit down and start plucking away on this guitar. And while he'd be doing it, he'd do it live on stage, he would hand pictures out into the crowd and tell people, you know, this is A Little Fat Kid was one of the songs, and that he battled with Wade himself, and before he became this big, tall, skinny, lurchy motherfucker. And he would tell everybody about like the fat kid in the picture, and he go, "That little fat kid was me," and he'd start singing the song about it, and you would just melt. I'll let you hear a couple of his songs.
Mm-hmm.
He was incredible.
He was a great singer. He had a very
Merle
mellow,
Haggard
very
even took
pleasing
one of
kind
his
voice.
songs. I Wish I Could Fly.
He
was
kind
one
of
the
reminded
songs.
you of like a cross between like someone with like Merle's authenticity, but like that soft-spoken thing like him, but also like
With, like,
kind of like a Jim Croce kind of side. With
Yeah,
the
with
picking
a
and
very-
storytelling and so he's a really cool guy.
With a Johnny Cash kind of storyteller, you
Yeah.
know, to it.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting shot with a low caliber pistol and bleeding out because he was protecting a man from his prick son who was taking these checks. And the last words he said was, "I can't die now. Things are actually going good for me."
That's fucked up. That's so sad.
I mean, dude, okay, you know that Tales from the Tour Bus cartoon that's out that Mike Judge does? The last
Loudwire.
No, it's called Tales from the Tour Bus. It's on Cinemax.
Okay.
The first season was about country music. And he's like, you know, when he gets to the end of the season, Mike Judge, it's animated Mike Judge, holding up an animation of an album and of the artist, and he would kind of give a little synopsis of the artist.
You know what he's doing on the second season, don't you?
Funk.
Yeah.
I've already seen it. It's already out. The funk shit was hilarious. The first episode was Rick James.
Ah, yeah.
And his keyboard player goes, and you know, at the end of that shit, Rick James died, and Prince died. Little bitch. Yeah, dude, they didn't like each other. There was a lot of bad blood in the funk community. And I think either the last one was either George Clinton or Bootsy. I can't remember which one it was, but Bootsy was in 2 or 3 of them. Bootsy Collins was in all kinds of them. And like, there was one because James Brown picked him up. James Brown was the person that gave Bootsy Collins his first job.
Yeah.
Him and his brother and
I
everybody
actually
else.
didn't know that.
And they're out there drinking acid in an orange juice.
Jesus.
They put liquid LSD in their orange juice, and they're just handing this orange juice around. And James Brown comes outside, and he's, "Woo! The man is thirsty." He's just shaking his head at him, the animation of it. And there's Bootsy with his drink. The rest of the guys are looking at him going, "Give it to him." Give it to him. Bootsy goes. Then a little animation of it. And the animation of James Brown picks it up
Oh, God.
and he goes up on stage and does this dance. It's just like this dance like this. He said it's a new dance that everybody's going to pick up. He said, but that whole time people didn't know what the fuck he was doing. But yeah, I can't wait to see what the 3rd season's going to be like. But that first season finale was Blaze Foley.
Mike cracks me up, dude. I
And,
love that guy.
he's genius. But Blaze
I watch
Foley
a lot of his interviews.
reminds me a lot of Wesley Willis in that
Yeah.
respect. Before they actually caught on, these talented, strange people blew up respectfully where they were from just to die at the end of it. You know? And it's a shame. It's such a goddamn shame. And I really fucking it sucks because we could go on and on about the people that didn't take off. Well, there's another one, Mayhem.
Yeah.
Mayhem was one. I mean, the original version of Mayhem.
Bands that
Well, they
never really
self-destructed.
took off.
What was it? Badfinger.
I'd say Morbid was more one of those.
Morbid was one.
Morbid-
Dad's old band.
Morbid didn't make it past December Moon.
Yeah, they were lucky to get that out. You know.
Yeah.
Because fucking
Of darkness.
Yeah, because Dad was he was a real charismatic fucking singer.
He was schizophrenic. He was schizophrenic, and he had a Cotard's delusion.
And well,
what's that?
Cotard's delusion is is a mental illness where you believe you're not alive.
Oh, okay.
You're dead, or some people will say that they feel like there's nothing in their veins.
Okay.
For Olin, his whole thing, his nickname, his fucking stage name was
Dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
And he'd do a whole bunch of shit. He would collect roadkill from the roads, put them in bags, and
smell the death. And people walk over and what are you doing?
Yeah, he'd bury his clothes in the dirt 3 days before a show.
So they'd have that decomposed smell to them. And
he was left alone one fateful night.
he was the guy that
started
invented
having-
corpse paint.
Yeah.
He was the father of corpse paint.
He wanted to make himself look dead.
And
That was his name.
and well, it was night into morning. Everybody else, strangely enough, had places to be, and it was just too much time for him to be by himself.
Yeah, this is a schizophrenic.
And
He
slit his wrists.
He slit his wrist, but he wasn't bleeding enough, so he slit his throat, and that wasn't enough. So he's like, fuck it, I've got time to write them a letter. Hey, sorry for firing the gun in the house. Excuse all the blood. Here's the rest of the lyrics. Here's the money. Don't give a damn what you do with it. And he said, I didn't plan this now, but 16 years ago.
Wow.
Wow.
And then you've got Dead in the Dead.
And
And Euronymous found his body, and he didn't think to call the police or anything. What he did is he went to the nearest store, got a disposable camera, came back, rearranged some items, and took pictures. And one of the pictures is on the compilation album, Dawn of the Black Hearts.
That's some crazy shit.
they
It
used
goes
his
even, It goes
picture.
even further,
Yeah,
but
they're-
like
they're crazy. I've
I'd
read a
have
lot
you guys
of-
tied up on all.
I've read a
all
lot
that
about some
No,
of that
dude,
stuff,
that's
yeah.
why we have you on here.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Well,
your field.
well, to drag it all even further,
See how we
It's-
built all this up
Yeah,
to
yeah.
kind of just put you on the pedestal and
it's confirmed by the lead guitarist of Marduk that Euronymous took pieces of Per Olin's or Dead's skull fragments and turned them into necklaces and gave them to musicians he deemed worthy. And this is confirmed by Marduk's guitarist.
Was that true in Lords of Chaos when Hellhammer left after that? Because Hellhammer, when Euronymous in the movie gave him that skull, Hellhammer's like, "You're fucking sick, man."
Some people were not on board with what he was doing. I'm not really sure what.
Yeah,
Hellhammer
because I
did.
wanted to know, because I knew Hellhammer left early.
The mysterious Dom Satanos was in my opinion, the last of the true mayhem. It was the last of the true mayhem.
Yeah,
After that,
because his parents or somebody gave Hellhammer the okay to finish the album up.
Well, because
Because I knew that much.
Varg killed Euronymous. The bass guitar was already
Still, that's some
recorded.
brutal shit right there. You'll have to tell him about that.
Oh yeah,
That
but
murderer. I wounded on wintry ground. What gets me is when Varg will be talking about that shit.
it's so nonchalant.
And and he's like, he said the knife was kind of stuck in his
I had
fucking
to
head.
kick his head a little bit.
Yeah, he
to
said
get
he had
the
to
knife.
put his foot on
And it wasn't
his
a very
face
sharp
and
knife.
head and pull the knife out of Euronymous' head.
And you could look
That's
look
what
inside
did it.
his skull and see like the brain and the blood and all that. Jesus. And
He served 20 years for it.
because I mean, think about it. The man's like real Nordic, and so he's like
Pure killer. Well, you knew
He
where he
admi- he
spent his
admits what he
childhood,
does.
right?
where?
His dad was a computer technician who built the entire software network for Saddam Hussein.
Oh
That explains a lot.
Yeah,
Varg
that does.
lived in Iraq and went to school in Iraq.
I remember on his channel, you know.
And he hated Americans. He loved the Germans. Thought that the only thing good that came out of Britain was Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden was his favorite band for the longest time. And he hated the Scorpions.
Yeah, he
And
hates
in
Lords of Chaos.
and when in Lords of Chaos, when his
For good
fat
reason.
Jew character, the guy that played him,
My part was played by a fat Jew.
yeah, when he said that, I was like, whoa!
Yeah, I mean,
You don't give a shit, do you?
no.
No,
have
dude.
you seen the rest of his videos? He's very unapologetic.
Yeah, no. Oh, dude, he is harsh about it. He is real harsh about it. And he's like, he said,
he's a
there's
Nazi.
no way you could get those facts proper. He said, because nobody was there, and nobody is there anymore.
Yeah, the only ones that were there the only ones that made it that I find any amount credible is you don't like them all that well, but Bard Veganess, you know, and Fenris.
Bard's still there.
Bard, yeah, but I don't think he says a whole lot.
No, but
They
especially
released him
after
from
he
prison.
killed that homosexual guy.
They released him from prison, so he just kind of put his hood over his head, and he's like, I'm just here to play drums.
Yeah, and like there's pictures of Bard still playing drums, and I'm like,
He keeps quiet about everything,
I was like, wow.
and it wasn't a
He's
hate
still
crime.
fucking doing.
It wasn't a hate crime. It was a situation of, I wanted to kill somebody. There he was.
And he just preyed on the gay guy.
Yeah, he was
That's
there.
just what it was. It
He
wasn't a
was-
homosexual hate crime.
He said it was nothing personal.
No,
I
the
just
guy-
wanted to know what it felt like.
When he was visiting his family in Lillehammer, he was by himself in this bar drinking. And this guy in a jogging suit just comes up to him, starts talking to him, starts, so you want to talk to me somewhere? All God did was run his finger down his left hand. Just enough to let him know, hey, want to grapple with me? And
Well, in that case, it'd be.
oh yeah. Something like that. And Bard's like, yeah, sure, just meet me out in this clearing. And he goes in that fucking clearing and he butchers that fucking dude.
Yep.
And just heartlessly too. And the guy's like, why won't you stop? And he's like, because I just kind of want to know what it feels like. And he even tells the guy, I'm sorry, dude, it's nothing personal, but I just want to know.
Experimenting here.
What was it? Out of the winds of war horse of steel. I never killed a woman before, but I know how it feels. He fucking butchered this dude to fucking pieces. And then left.
Yeah.
And then went back to hell the next day. And he tells Euronymous and all them, they're all looking for the guy that killed this upstanding guy.
I did that.
And he said, yeah, I did that.
Damn.
And Euronymous just turns, God damn, dude, really? You know, shit. So there was blood already all over the place before Varg and him locked horns.
And before Lords of Chaos,
Because by that time he was already burning the churches.
What, Varg?
Yeah, Varg was already
Yeah.
burning the churches.
Yeah,
he was
but-
already building a name for himself.
Yeah, well, he wasn't really doing it for reputation. He
No,
was
no.
doing it to reclaim Odin's land, basically.
And he had a point,
It wasn't-
because
it wasn't
if you
for the
go
satanic
by
shit.
the classic stories of what happened with the fucking
The comments
Crusades.
stopped coming after we started talking about mayhem.
Yeah, dude.
Nobody likes mayhem. Let's be
No,
real.
well, no, probably what they're doing is they're probably listening because they're like, we want to know what the fuck's going on
We did
here.
get some WoW reacts a couple of times.
Yeah, right.
So
But what?
I've been watching. You got to watch the emojis that.
But
pop
what
up.
went
I
down
don't watch your shit.
is, yeah, I'm too busy running my dick sucker. But this, but what had happened is during the Crusades, I'll give you a short of it. Men in big silver armor with white tunics, big red crosses would ride over to fjords and open lands and open circles and go, here, this is a book. Inside the book, there's a new guy in town. It's the Holy Trinity. It's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I'm going to come back in a week or two, see if you like it. Bye.
You
Okay.
ever see Bathory's One Road to Asa Bay?
Uh-uh.
Oh.
Oh, it rides up. So, what'd you think? Well, half of them would go, or more than half would go, praise Jesus. Bring the carpenters. Bring the father. There isn't a lot of kids here, so he ain't going to be happy. Bring the wafers. Bring the grape juice. Good deal. Praise God.
The other half.
Well, then the next village. What'd you think? Ooh, tree of 4.
Yeah. Donar's oak.
Praise. Praise.
Funor eoa dit neo.
Really? Last chance. Praise Odin. Kill the children, kill the women. I should take the children, take the women, kill the old people, kill the men, burn the place to the ground, build churches, get the carpenters in, get the,
Yeah.
and there was like 7, 8 churches in a row in this particular area of Norway.
It was slaughtered.
And there was like 20 or 30 churches in all.
And if you think about it, this shit is happening way before Lindisfarne.
Right. And this is
Lindisfarne is the response.
and well, but it still wasn't enough because the new God took over. And the Bible became the most read book in history, and it
became the law.
Yeah, it became it became the law and everything else underneath. And Varg,
We found ways around it though.
but Varg, learning and researching and studying, this was his way to retaliate. This was his way to say,
That's what black metal is. It's delivering the extreme message, no matter what it is. That's why I don't understand when people. I'm not an advocate, but I don't understand why people are so uppity about National Socialist black metal being a thing. Yeah, they're bastards for being racist, but they have the right.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
We have a right to call them out on their shit, but they also have the right
Because
to
I
be
find
like.
Christian death metal offensive. I personally find Christian. Let's quote Sam Kinison: "Rock against drugs." Yep, it's like Christians against Christ.
Yeah. Right. That's the
Bill
problem.
Hicks.
That's the problem with rock bands.
If you don't like rock, and if you don't like drugs, take all your albums, throw them away. Because everybody that wrote all your favorite albums, real fucking high on drugs. And that's just how it is. Oh yeah, you have to. That has to apply.
There's good Christian
Bill Hicks. That was Bill Hicks's retort to Christian theory.
Yeah.
Varg's retort was burning churches.
Yeah. He was
It's a scale.
He was a do
It's
it
like-
man. Yeah.
Yeah, he very much was a do it man, and he wasn't.
Sam Kinison was he was a comedian.
And
He was
Sam,
telling the joke.
Varg
was being the activist.
Sam was too. Sam was very much an activist because Mark Moran. I was listening to some of those.
has he burned?
He was a preacher and walked out of it to talk shit about God. Just imagine if Jesus Christ was married.
Oh, if he was married.
If he was married, I mean, could you imagine how much of a bitch his wife would be?
I came back from the dead.
I'm sorry, I was dead! I was dead!
I missed you, honey.
Yes. You could use my fucking head for a whistle! Oh! And that was it, dude. He was, that's exactly right. And he had this, everyone will even say back in his day when he was big, he had a congregation. They called his fans the congregation. Because when he would get up on that fucking stage, with 10,000 people in attendance, like Dice was the polar opposite of it.
Mm-hmm.
But Kennison was the holy fucking roller that took
You had
swings at fucking, not just at not at the world at large. He took a big fucking swing at God first and took a swing at the establishment second. And Kenny and I have always said time and time again, the reason why Bill Hicks is dead is because Bill Hicks was the perfect human.
He's a sacrifice.
He was the sacrifice. Bill Hicks was the sacrifice because everything Bill Hicks ever said was gospel. He was a perfect being because he knew what this race needed.
But we weren't going to listen.
No, fucking no, we weren't going to
Well,
listen because we're
we
too
don't
damn
listen.
dumb.
We don't listen until we're really in trouble.
It's like Stanhope pouring the fucking beer into his ear.
Yeah, Doug, I understand. I get it, but, you know, my wife and I are still going to go do this. You know, it's right. You know, yeah, Doug, I understand what you're talking about with this. But yeah, me and the wife are just going to, and he's like, fuck you. Just fuck all of you. I'll never give you all advice again. I'm just going to make fun of all of you when you fucking fall down. I mean, he was just, and Sam was the guy trying to tell you shit before you fell down. Stanhope tried, but because he, like me, is so abrasive and doesn't know when to shut up, he's off-putting. And people will still go and fuck up in that monumentally incredible way humans do. And yeah, yes, I was just talking about that previously.
Were we on before when you were?
No, we were not. We were not on.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, we were talking about that before we went on. Lee was talking about how he
how he was having a fucking conversation with the Kahuna Laguna.
Yeah, with as Nico McBrain would call him, the governor up there.
The governor.
But you know, he was up there. He was having a conversation with the governor. I believe in him. I just don't understand him. I don't get him.
I'm very blasphemous.
And I'm blasphemous too. I very much am. But because
I believe in him just enough.
I
keep him right where I want him.
I believe in him enough to know I don't even look up and ask what the fuck he's thinking anymore, because a lot of the time, if something really fucked up happens, I just raise my hand up and go, okay.
That bad.
All right. All right.
The last time
you're good. You know.
The last time I remember praying, I was in my bed and I woke up at 4 in the morning feeling like I was about to throw up. And I remember saying, God, if you let me live through this, I will owe my life to you. Didn't work. Ended up throwing up in my bed, and I'm still a nihilist.
Oh, dude, I prayed one time 3 years ago to have him help me do something, and he didn't. And I said, okay. And when everything happened, I was like, all right. I said, I see where you stand, and now here's the deal. You stay on your side of the fence, I'll stay on mine. Transition received, over and out.
Yeah.
And that was that. And I ain't said nothing since. And I mean, you know, and it's not that I'm not trying to shit on anybody's rift or shit on anybody's ideas. He may help you out, but friends like that, gods like that, no thanks. Hey, at least crime helped me get Mom's fucking Social Security fucking card.
You know, my friends treat me a lot like God. They don't really acknowledge my existence until they need something.
Yeah. It's true. That is how people treat God.
Yeah?
That's pretty much it.
I broke Lee.
Yeah, you did. Oh, he's down. He's down for the count. Yeah, man.
That is.
I'm like Carlin, man. I pray to Joe Pesci.
Yeah!
Because Joe Pesci looks like a guy who could get stuff done.
There's a pastor that goes into my work. He's always bothering everybody with pamphlets and all that shit. And he's been bothering me with shit. But honestly, the next time I see him,
It's your aftershave, honey.
yeah,
It's your aftershave.
yeah.
They don't like how it smells.
I don't even want to get into what kind of Abercrombie and Finch perfume he wears.
Oh shit! I still remember getting thrown out of there.
Next time he sees me and he asks me where I am in life, I'm gonna tell him I just worship Charles Manson.
Yes.
see what he
People
reacts to
say
that.
I'm no good, but do they ever know what gets them? Oh, what do they know? People say I'm no good, 'cause Chuck, you don't do what people should.
You do the monkey.
I had a little monkey and I sent him to the country and I fed him on gingerbread. Along come a choo-choo and knocked my monkey cuckoo and now my monkey's dead. Fuck yeah, man. Lie was a necessity. I had to listen to Lie at least twice a day for about 3 years. And what an incredible album. I mean, the man was a genius musician. He was a genius.
It's one of those cases.
They came to him.
It's like Ozzy said, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be a serial killer. Sucks. Manson got the wrong end of the stick.
And he didn't even kill nobody. He didn't kill a fucking soul. Everyone else did the killings. They all had it figured out that they were going to... Well, we already got on this. I'm not going to jump back into that because we all know where I stand with Charlie.
You got it, yeah.
Praise Charlie over there. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, there he is. And my little action figure there of him. Praise Charlie. You're finally at sleep, brother. They can't do nothing to you anymore.
I want to point something out. How just fucking beautiful Vlad is.
Isn't he gorgeous?
He's just always fucking beautiful.
He's the Woody of the toy room, man.
Look at him.
He's the commander of the toy room. He controls that shit.
When you leave, all these toys come to life. But ever since he got here, they're just don't move.
Oh no! Like Hulk will jump up and be like, "All right, folks, can I have everybody's attention?" And all he does is just take his spear and BAM! And everybody, what's up, boss?
He's like radar. Quiet!
and Godzilla roars real loud, and they're all like, "Thanks, Godsy." Okay, everybody. Just wanted to say, Lee's gone for a few days. Party! And then that's when you hear Beastie Boys and the lights are going on, and I still want to do that video.
That'd be insane.
I still want to do that video.
Dude, it would be so...
You goddamn right I still got my fucking no-name Maddox.
Oh my god, it'd be so
You goddamn right, Mr. O'Brien, and I still got my Black Sabbath hoodie. My beautiful Black Sabbath hoodie.
You gotta show me this.
Oh, it's sexy! It's dead fucking sexy. And it's my dress hoodie.
If you ended up getting the hoodie that I was looking at on fucking Amazon, I'm gonna be pissed.
Which one is it? Is it Sabbath?
It was a Black Sabbath.
Oh, he made this. My friend Jason made this Sabbath hoodie for me.
Oh, it's probably even better.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Crosses and Black Sabbath and just...
The one that I was looking at, I think it had a picture of the band on the front.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's nice.
And it wasn't a zip up either.
No, Jason gave me this white hat that he had stitched in like black threading on the top. No name Maddox. Charlie's birth name on his birth certificate. That was what he was born. He was born no name Maddox. And this guy that his mom was fooling around with, who was in the military, Manson was his last name, and he loved Charlie so much, he gave him his name. So it wasn't even his biological father where his name came from. We'll talk about someone that came from the gutters and the dregs. It was him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, and this failure of a person concocted the most diabolical and evil plan the world has ever seen.
In the 60s.
Not even that, dude. It wasn't even that. It was the LAPD cooking up this bullshit lie to convict someone who already didn't give a fuck about being convicted. And to cover up all of their stupid fucking mistakes they made. It's all in the police report. It's all in his autobiography, Manson, in his own words. They run parallel.
Like he said, I don't care about going back in. I've grown up in jail.
Yeah. If you beat a man with the whip and he likes the whip, well, you're just making a fool of yourself, man. You know, I mean, and it's the truth. It is the truth.
There's Jesus down in Florida. He's having a good time.
It's Jesus, you know, and then there's Jesus in Texas. He's mowing the lawn. And Jesus, you know, he's a little God. Christ is a little God. Ah!
Don't send me.
Don't send my asses hung me up over there.
He's only a man.
He's just right over there. Meat! Sandwich! Sandwich! I return to you as a feral thing, posting at your bloated underbelly. Let the agony, all that you see, pay with agony, going from the death zone, on the way from. Let slay them all, let them come, let them come, let them come. They come for mate! Sandwich, crucified, mate! Sandwich, crucified. I love it!
I listened to that album Skating Through South Charles.
Why don't you just admit it, you're a dirty, rotten son of a bitch? Why don't you just admit it, you're a dirty, rotten
son of a bitch? Why don't you just admit it, you're a dirty, rotten son of a bitch?
Why don't you just
admit it, you're a dirty, rotten son of a bitch?
Some bitch. Dirty, filthy, god damn it, I fucking love Guar. You're a fucking bunch of shit sucks if you don't appreciate Guar. You know, I mean, yeah, if you don't appreciate Guar, then there's something wrong with you. I don't give a fuck who you are. And there's this dude that I used to be friends with.
I still need to get my Guar shirt.
You need to get a Guar shirt.
I need to.
You need
to get a bunch of shirts.
Yeah, and they're cheap. They're cheap as fuck. Some of them are dirt cheap.
Yeah. I don't even need like authentic. If you get, I made this at home. Sweet, give me $10 for it.
I'll tell you what you need. You need a classic. They make a Scumdogs of the Universe jersey shirt like that.
A shirt like that.
Oh, I love these fucking shirts. I love these kind of shirts. I love my Raglan shirts. Well, that's classic 80s, man. That's 80s. That's 80s cream right there.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I remember seeing a picture of Anthrax when they're all sitting in front of the stairs with their Santa Cruzes, and one of them has a shirt on like that, but it's like it's an Anthrax shirt. Right?
Oh, it is. It's the Mosh It Up shirt with the Knot Man on it.
I still got my dad's Mosh It Up shirt.
God damn. Oh, that shit. That motherfucker come into the mall, it's like, sell me your shirt. No, God damn it, sell me the shirt. It's like, fucking Vinny. I kept trying to get these girls to fuck him so they could get me the shirt.
That's great.
And he had to go off and do something. I was like, son of a bitch. Because I was going to leave my shirt. He liked my shirt too. I was going to leave him a shirt and $20. And tell him enjoy the pussy, mate. But no.
I also have the long sleeve teddy bear shirt.
Oh, dude. Now that was his baby.
Those two are currently hanging on my wall because
that daddy shirt.
They're unwearable.
You could, man. I believe it. I believe it because that motherfucker wore that shirt so much. He was like me with my Danzig tour shirt from '88. My Motorhead shirt that had the blue one that Lemmy signed that I replaced recently. And my fucking Ramones shirt that had fucking Richie on it. And those 3 shirts, I would just
Anthrax.
yes, I would put them in my bathtub and pour bleach. I would pour Tide on them, put a stick in the water, do this, run hot water on them to rinse them off, and then just hang them up. And then, like, the next day at summer, I just go through the 3. And that was the 3 fucking shirts I wore like crazy. And then I go, you're as bad as I am. He goes, man, I jumped in the pool last night. That's clean enough. It's like, fuck. No wonder that shirt's unwearable, because there's
one?
the teddy bear.
Yeah.
Because
really,
that fucking
all
thing.
it is the armpit in it is ripped, and my mom being
I
my
bet
mom
it's
being
real fucking thin, isn't it?
oh, it is. But my mom being the one that sewed the sleeves on there before already, I took it to her because I saw it only fit, you know. And I said, hey, can you fix this? You fixed it before, and she's like, I think I can this time.
Oh, that's classic, dude.
It's up on the wall.
That's
It's up on the wall.
vintage. Yeah, that's vintage. That's vintage, wholesome goodness.
My prized shirt is, I'd have to say, my battery shirt, because that's the first one. It's got the holes in the bottom. It's my back patch, really. It's just the basic fucking
classic.
battery shirt. Yeah.
Classic, man.
You should
Hey,
see-
Carol, look.
It's been so long since zombie candy undead. Burning my world.
Oh, God, yes, SOD.
Drive a swastika into your head. Dance around the fire wearing God-scat legs. The cult of personality, none shall resist. I'm bigger than the devil combined with Schindler's List. You won't save yourself, not till I reject you. So offer yourself for certainty to claim you. Clothe and hoof it with your tail between your legs. Be so pop your throat.
Oh, fuck yes. You look. Bigger than the devil's over there. It's right out of Metal Maniacs. Hulk poster, the big boy, right beside the big boy.
Yeah.
Easy Rider poster, upper left. Or upper right.
Bigger than the devil?
Yep.
That's...
Fuck A, man. Fuck A. You think I ain't, and look who's right above the Iron Maiden, or Iron Maiden, the Hulk. Ramones, baby, Monday Bizarro.
With SOD still fresh in mind. Yeah.
Your soul looks so delicious. Yes! Yes! See, that's what I'm telling you, man. It's like he stepped out of an issue of Metal Maniacs.
And that's why I love him.
Yeah,
That's why I
and
brought him on.
I was thinking correct.
and oh well. All right, for all you fucking wanker Yankees that don't know what Kerrang is the greatest heavy metal magazine ever, and it came out in the birthplace of heavy metal, England. And it was a great fucking magazine. And is it still around?
I don't know, really. I think
And if
so.
it is, it might be internet or something. Because I don't know, because it's hard to get any fucking. No, I think it is. Because there's this chick that I have on Instagram that I friended who writes for him. And I think she said she just did an article for Kerrang. But it was that press. It was Jeff Barton, the guy that became like the editor-in-chief for it, who had a magazine called Sounds. And Sounds was the magazine that coined the term the new wave of British heavy metal.
Right.
And
Dude's hair is magical.
yeah, yes, he is.
Thanks.
And
Barely brush it.
but like I said, in the beginning when we talked about doing Not Another Goddamn Podcast, we were going to tell people about different stuff. And so far, a lot of people, Kenny and I have heard feedback saying it goes off topic a lot. This episode has been one topic and one topic only, basically. Music.
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten off on comedy a time or two,
Yeah.
but not
But-
too far.
Not
Social
so far
structure.
because
Church burning.
what band
Well, I mean, it's
what
all
band
related.
took Bill Hicks on tour with him?
Chick Corea's burned a few churches.
He had a lot of nothing to say. We'll miss him.
What, really?
We'll miss him. So long. We miss you well. Tell us how you weren't afraid to die. That song's about him.
Really, that's cool.
Look at the inside of Enema. They have a painting of him in the inside of Enema.
That makes sense.
Look it up. Look it up.
Yeah.
Bill Hicks. Yeah. That's why it's my favorite Tool album.
A little bit.
I don't care for Tool after that album. Cause I used to love doing Stink Fist. Because that's a song about angel snakes.
Finger deep within the borderline. Show
Knuck-
me that you love me and that we belong together.
Knuckle deep. Elbow deep within the borderline.
Show me
Shoulder
that you love
deep.
me and shoulder deep within the borderline. Relax.
Turn around and take my hand. I can help you change tired moments into pleasure. Say the word and we'll be well upon our way. Blend in pain and comfort deep within you till you will not want me any other way.
But it's not enough. I need more. Nothing seems to satisfy. I said I don't want it. I just need it to breathe, to feel, to know I'm alive.
Wouldn't that be the pep talk you want you use to someone if you wanted to pop their cornhole?
How could anything? How could this mean anything to me when I don't even feel a thing at all?
Yeah. I'll keep digging till I feel something.
It actually could be about pushing the boundaries of addiction.
True, but
How-
I think
how
it's
far are you
anal
gonna
sex.
go?
Well, here's
It's
another
Tool. You
one.
never can tell with Tool.
Epic, Faith No More, jerking off.
Yeah.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a
Look
Well,
around, penis.
It's a loss. It's magic. It's tragic. It's a loss. It's a win. It's sad it's happened, and it's a shame. You want it all, but you can't have it. Porn.
Yeah.
It's in your face, but you can't grab it.
Okay. I'll buy that.
Yeah, dude, it's right there. When I first heard that, I was like, I just got covered my face, and I was like, ooh.
Typo negative album.
Best typo negative.
Pretentious math rock. How the fuck dare you?
Who's pretentious math rock?
Tool,
Yeah.
apparently.
She ain't wrong. And plus, everybody else in the world started to like them, and
They're for
because
angsty teenagers who never really grew out of being angsty teenagers.
ladies and gentlemen, our special guest is dropping bombs. Word to your mom. He came to drop bombs. He got more rhymes than the Bible got psalms. Just saying.
Books can't sing.
Yeah. But
Except the Necronomicon.
to answer Jason's question, which is very interesting, I don't know, man. Bloody Kisses is incredible, and it was Slow Deep and Hard was their first album, but Peter still had a lot of anger and violence and madness to him, and he was bringing over a lot of what Carnivore had, like a lot of the leftover grooves from Carnivore. So that's kind of low on my list, but it's a fucking excellent album still. Because when we play on Halloween, we always do the opening to Urdu Mensch. And people now know what it is. And a lot of the Typo Negative fans make certain to get up there to hoot and holler when we do it. And I love that. That fucking Peter Steele crunchy, munchy, fuzz tone bass of his.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was like Jay Collin once called him the Barry White of heavy metal.
Yes.
He ain't wrong.
I can see
Motherfucker ain't wrong.
it.
But my personal favorite Typo Negative album is Dead Again. Because Peter's anger.
I'm gonna have to agree with Brian.
What did he
Bloody
say?
Kisses.
Oh, Bloody Kisses is great. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna argue with you. But Dead Again is my favorite because they were seasoned. And Peter was angry. And you could almost tell from the feeling of it that they were about to call it. You could almost feel it because Josh was already going to school to be a EMT. That's what he does now in New York. He's an EMT in an ambulance. So if you happen to get fucked up in New York and you get this Jewish dude covered in tattoos with a real somber tone to him, you're probably being tended to by Josh Silver. You know, and he did that because they were all scared about how Peter was going to do it. They're like, man, we got to start figuring something out. And that's when Kenny and, what's his name? I love him to death, the drummer. God damn it. I have him as a friend on Facebook. Kenny Hickey. Johnny Kelly. Johnny. Johnny and Kenny put together a horse named Death, and Johnny filled in for Danzig. And now he's been the drummer for Danzig ever since. And when he put out Red Death Sabbath, I was like, oh my God, the double bass! Danzig got double bass! Oh, Tommy Victor must be happy! Tommy Victor must be very fucking happy. So I go look at who the drummer is, and it said Johnny Kelly. I was like, and I looked it up. There he is, the black hair, the mustache, Ranger shirt. I was like, ah, Johnny Kelly! And I love him, man, because he's such a cool dude. I got to meet him at X Fest one year. And, but if you want me to be absolutely technical, by standards and by creativity for Typo Negative, I would have to say October Rust is their finest hour as a band. But my personal favorite is Dead Again, and my favorite song is 12 Black Rainbows. Don't be afraid, as she pulled down the shade, said there's nothing to fear, but the monster is here. So just tell me the time, be it 9:15. Since the sun's gone away, now the creature will play. That's my favorite. Oh, and dude, they even do a key change in it. There's elephants roaring and shit in it. Dude, I share that song a lot. When I'm in a fucking mood, and I post that song on Facebook, you best not talk to me for a while. Don't bother me, don't message me, don't send me messages and ask me if I'm okay, because you're going to get the monster. And I'm going to chew on your ass like a giant chews on a human. So, fuckity fuck you. Thank you for thinking about me, but fuck you for thinking about me. But anyhow, but now I'm going to, no, yes, he did. Yes, Johnny Kelly is Danzig's drummer. And they even dedicated On a Wicked Night to Peter when Peter died. So that was very sweet of Glenn to actually acknowledge him. Glenn fucking Danzig acknowledging somebody. Y'all need to say something about that.
Beside himself. That's amazing.
Did you see how his Facebook was hacked?
Glenn Danzig's?
Yeah.
Hold me closer, Tiny Danzig. Did you ever see it? There's a picture of Danzig like this. Like the famous picture of him standing on the fucking mic. And they had removed his face and put Tony Danzig's face in there. And instead of Danzig, it's Danz.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Hey, how does Danzig mow his lawn?
Oh God.
Like this?
Oh! Fuck yeah! I don't give a fuck. I love him.
Oh,
I love him.
He's great.
He's putting out an Elvis album soon.
Danzig is a scary motherfucker.
He is a scary motherfucker. Well, now these days he looks like Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, he kind of does. Jesus.
Or your crazy old aunt.
Yeah.
You know, because David Lee Roth looks like Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. Marilyn Manson looks like fucking Nick Cage.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Can't tell them niggas apart unless they fucking put on makeup. And, or unless Brian puts on makeup.
He's gonna.
Nick don't need no makeup.
No.
I'm gonna steal the beautiful people.
And then, and now Tony Danzig. Glenn Danzig. Glenn Danzig looked like Sigourney Weaver.
He does.
So yeah, dude, see, I'll tell you what, though, the band that aged the best, and I'm not trying to say it because they're the perfect heavy metal band, but look at them motherfuckers in Iron Maiden.
And look, we've come full circle.
We have.
We have.
But look at it. Bruce is even growing his hair out again.
I mean,
Yeah,
would you just
that's pretty
look
cool.
at him?
Will you just look at him?
Just
Would
look
you
at
Just look at him.
You guys, we're coming up on 2.5 hours.
It is 2.5 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, we're about 11:30.
Oh shit, yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're probably gonna have to
Oh, I'm late for being on time.
wrap off here.
You're late for being on time. No, hell no.
So,
No, because a lot of times people stick around and
Anybody got
watch
any-
and listen.
anybody got any final questions before we sign off?
Yeah,
Anybody?
any
Ask us things, and
gripes?
we'll do our best to ignore it.
Let's see.
I did because I ain't got my glasses on, and usually when I put my glasses on, I'm like,
I got my plug in earlier, but there's different people watching now, I'm sure. So make sure if you're able, if you're in the Huntington area, get with me. My other band and Greg's other band actually. So two of the members of Harrah are going to be performing with Disarm the Fallen. That's going to be Monday night at the V Club in Huntington. So if you guys want to attend that, get with me. Tickets are $20 in advance, $25 at the door, so I can save you $5 and you can buy yourself a drink. And we'll have a good little time on Monday evening. We start about 7 p.m. So make sure you're there early.
yeah, we're going to try to shit out maybe one more episode before then. Don't know yet. Because we're up in the air so much.
Yeah, man. We just kind of decide the day of. Normally, we try to post something to let you guys know we're gonna do it. A lot of times, it's kind of a spur of the moment thing. But now we're really trying to incorporate more in the way of guests. I really like how tonight went.
Yeah, well, because I
It's a
wanted
lot of
Brandon
energy.
on here because I wanted him to talk a lot about music, about stuff that other people don't know about.
Yeah.
And if they did know about it, awesome. If they didn't want to know about it, shut up and watch. If not, like I tell y'all before, you can fucking exit out.
Like Mayhem.
I don't
Nobody
care.
cares about Mayhem.
Yeah,
but
the
I
whole-
told you about it anyway.
The whole black metal story, man. It was great.
Well, yeah,
I
well,
look, I look like Euronymous.
and there you go.
That's not a good
I'm
thing.
not gonna stab you though.
Yeah.
Let's just
I will show
no stabbings.
horned devil.
But yes, death clock.
So
But yeah,
do,
but
you like
look,
do you like your cornflakes soft or crispy?
I like them either way.
Nah, you gotta eat them. You gotta eat them when they're crispy. You pour the milk on there.
Oh
You gotta
well,
get-
no, fuck no. I put spaghetti sauce on human meat. Just,
too.
if you eating spaghetti, don't ask where the meat come from.
I never do. Because I'm the one that delivers.
Oh, well, if you're the one that delivers, thank you. Because usually the guy he comes in like a bloody costume.
Yeah, we fired him. He was bringing a bunch of negative energy.
Oh, he probably was. Well, I told him no more fucking no more otters. God damn it, or seals.
He was foreign.
Jesus.
There
I
was also
said
the
I
language
said
barrier.
seal, not seals. You didn't go bring me the corpse of seal.
Oh,
No,
man.
I'm kidding. He's a bad dude. I was just trying to make a really bad
We
joke.
don't eat meat. We're all vegans.
Kiss from the walls. I'm your rose.
Did I ever tell you about the time when I worked at autism and that one guy got he used to get like tunes stuck in his head. He got kissed from a rose by a seal stuck in his head, and he was like violently acting out and kicking people when he was singing Kiss from a Rose.
Baby.
Well, no, he was nonverbal, so he'd be like just sit there going.
And he's swinging and punching.
That's a hell of a way to go.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I would start singing while I was holding him down. Baby.
That's how we tried to calm him down. Yeah,
We'll
when
sing
we
with
held
him.
him down. Yeah, we were trying to calm him down by doing it with him when we held him down.
Did it work?
Kinda. You gotta get on his level, man. Like, well,
Kinda.
one time he came at you with fucking the Michael Jackson song, "You Are Not Alone."
I'm here with you.
He was singing that. He's like kicking people.
Oh my
It was,
God!
yeah, it was
That's
chaos.
fucking-
Oh my God, that's fucking great.
That job was brutal.
He was a
man.
legend, and he didn't even know he was a
Yeah,
legend.
man. I had a lot of fun
Back
with that
up.
job.
we
We-
back up. Sometime you're gonna.
I remember doing shit like that,
Nah.
like getting in trouble. I'd be sent to the principal's office blasting Gigi out.
He used to handle special.
Yeah, people with like autism and stuff. Yeah. Oh, dude, it was great. He had. Oh, dude, I've got the best stories. They're all HIPAA violations. I can't really tell them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But you know, they're great. They're great stories.
Oh my God, maybe we'll tell Brandon one here after we shut down. But everyone, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for listening. You wore me out.
Aw.
You're beautiful. You're wonderful. I love you.
That's what we do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
I think she said she was going to bed.
Yeah.
hell yeah, well,
Good night. Well,
good night.
Good night.
Night. Sleep night. Night, night, night.
I like when we can kind of ASMR people to sleep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
as we've said all the other times, and I'm going to throw in stay black, everybody.
Don't do crack. White don't cover black.
Dave Brocky, Steve Harris, John Carpenter, Charles Manson, Joey and Dee Dee Ramone, and Pepper James Keenan. That's who's inspired me as a songwriter.
Loving those angry.
Yeah, we're getting all the angries.
Because we're leaving?
I guess.
Oh, well, we love you too, folks. But stare at your asshole in the mirror and don't get your dick caught in your zipper. Toodaloo, go with God. Don't take any wooden nickels.
Don't
And
do milk. Stay in drugs. Drink plenty of school.
Should we give them one more before the night? Bum-ba-dee-da, 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 bum. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. You don't know it? Keep smiling on till then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together?
Just sing a song and think about sunny weather.
What? Happy trails to you till we meet again. Smoke, crack, and worship Satan. Say goodbye, Brandon.